Okay, what do we always talk about? Go do your best. Play as a team. Play for that name on the front of your jersey. Go win the play tonight. It's about us and what we do. Go do your job. Let's go get out of these guys. Play as a team. Play hard. Get out of
Welcome to Deer Creek High School, home of the Deer Creek Fighting Antlers. Tonight is Thursday night football. That's right. We're gonna have a 6A Division II matchup between the Stillwater Pioneers and your Deer Creek Antlers. I'm joined here tonight with Scott Hazelwood, our play-by-play and the voice of the Antlers. Scott, looks like the band's getting ready to play.
They are in their block formation, ready to take the field, and tonight the high school marching band will be joined by the 8th grade orchestral band. So it'll be fun to see the future of the band, as it were, joining up this evening.
Let's go down the field and check out the festivities.
Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the field under the direction of drum majors Jaden Oldham, Lanny Hinsdale, and Kieran Sowerby. Deer Creek High School proudly presents the 2018 Antler Pride Marching Band. Tonight, the band is joined by members of the Deer Creek Middle School 8th grade band. Under the direction of Wendy Benford, please give a big round of applause for the future Antler Pride band members. The Antler Pride now invites all of our Antler fans to stand together in the singing of our state song, Oklahoma. The Star-Spangled Banner honors Americans from everywhere who have sacrificed to protect the land of the free. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor our flag, those who defend it, and the freedom it represents, Superintendent Renette Tippmans, Principal Melissa Jordan, and the Athletic Director Bill Bays invite you to join Director of Bands Darby Cassidy and the Antler Pride Marching Band in the singing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get on your feet and get fired up for Deer Creek football. Please join the Antler Pride Marching Band as they lead us in the Deer Creek Fight Song.
And we're back, preparing for kickoff. 5.5 minutes away. Both teams are still in the locker rooms, getting set to come out. Band's playing their fight song, and the fans here are getting fired up for Thursday night football. Scott, what are your thoughts here before we get into the action this evening?
Well, I really liked last week we talked a little bit before the game about how the Antlers needed to really capitalize inside the red zone, and they did that last week, and it really made a huge difference.
Yep.
It gave them a lot of success, and they were able to knock off the Bulldogs in pretty
convincing
easy,
manner.
Yeah, pretty convincing manner. So I think the trick tonight, with a Stillwater team that's scoring a lot of points this year, Deer Creek is going to have to take advantage of opportunities they get offensively, and they cannot afford to punt the ball too many times tonight. They're going to have to score it.
They have to keep the ball out of the hands of Mr. Gundy, the quarterback for the Stillwater Pioneers, having a great season in the non-district play. This is the district opener in 6A Division II. These teams will square off tonight, and every game from here on out counts as far as playoffs are concerned. Now, the first 3 games obviously count, but these count towards playoffs and seeding in the playoffs. Deer Creek, if they're going to make it to that extension of the season, they're going to have to knock off teams like Stillwater.
You have to perform well in that district play. So that starts tonight.
Doesn't matter if you start 3-0, like a lot of teams may be right now, including Stillwater.
Right.
But if you can't take care of business in district play, that 3-0 will eventually mean nothing. So here comes the captains onto the field for our Antlers.
Tonight we do know that Lamorris Davis is not suited up. He was in street clothes.
He was in street
clothes on the sideline with he didn't have a boot on that injured ankle from last week, but he did have a pretty big ankle brace on. So we'll have to keep an eye on who's going to take his place tonight and how they're going to.
Dylan Diaz has filled in admirably when he's had to been calm, but he is a defensive stalwart as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they mix it up here. The captains for the Antlers, number 68, Daxton Byers, senior, 6'5", 293. It's good to see Paxton Gary back. He had to sit out a week last week. We think it may have been concussion protocols, but he's back suited up. Number 1, he's a senior, 5'9", 157. And the basically the quarterback in the defensive backfield, number 5, Jarrett Burright, senior, 5'11", 150. He played wide receiver last week and had a heck of a game. Just a classy leader there to be able to give up the quarterback reins and go play wide receiver and still be a leader. That's
first play of the game went his direction.
That's right. Number 29, Dylan Beers, senior, 5'10", 181 pounds. Dylan is having a great season. He leads the team in tackles. I mean, I'm going to announce that size again, 5'10", 181, and he is leading the team in tackles. What a great kid. Having a great season. 34 tackles so far. That's
really great. And right now, we are a little hindered with our Stillwater roster. So
we're a little handicapped.
We're a little handicapped. We don't have one just yet, although we've been told it's on its way. But according to
the typewriter is buzzing as we speak.
That's right. We do have the Max Preps website up on the phone here, so it doesn't really give first names at all, but it does list the students by number and last name. So we'll do our best to try and keep up with Stillwater tonight.
Okay. We'll manage our way through it. Again, this is a tough game for our Antlers tonight. They have struggled to score the first 2 weeks, but last week they kind of, kicked the tires and lit the fires. You know what I mean? And they were able to score pretty easily, especially in the second half where they've struggled against the Edmond Memorial Bulldogs.
Sometimes you just got to take the lid off, and once you crack those first couple scores, it gets a little bit easier, and you can get into a better rhythm.
Now we've deferred, and so we will receive in the second half, and Stillwater will take the football to begin our game which will occur in about a minute and 10 seconds.
So the weather tonight is pretty warm.
Very warm.
But
Yes,
there's
it is.
a very strong south breeze blowing kind of across the field. The Deer Creek Stadium here lies on sort of a northwest.
Northwest to southeast tilt. So the breeze is kind of
the breeze will always be across the field,
the
as it were. Very seldom will it be from one end zone to the other.
Our officiating crew tonight is referee Eddie Adams, umpire the good old Scott Givens, linesman Mario Franklin, line judge Ryan Cobble, and back judge is Tim Ott. They will be monitoring the game as far as the rules are concerned. Hopefully they'll not be noticed a whole lot.
Maybe we should have tried to interview one of those guys on exactly what goes for
You're
intentional
right.
grounding, because there's been a few times
We
both
have
for
had
and against us
controversy in the booth.
where we've questioned like exactly what is that going for.
And luckily, we hadn't been fired yet. That's good. That's the good news. And we've been questioning some officiating, and our boss hasn't fired us yet. So that's always good.
She's still giving us pizza and water.
That's right. That's right. The interesting intentional grounding calls. Those were.
And we've had one in every game.
Every game, and it's been different almost every game as well. So.
We'll see what happens.
I tell you that this first possession is going to be huge for the Antlers. I mean, especially if they can get a 3-and-out against this high-powered offense, quarterbacked by Coach Gundy's son. I know he's number 12. I believe he's number 12.
Let's see, he is number 12. I believe he's Gunner Gundy.
What a cool name! You gotta like that, Gunner Gundy. And
Gunner Gundy.
Yeah, Stillwater High School, 6'1", 185 pounds, junior. And here come your Antlers. We haven't seen them break out the black jerseys yet. Last year they wore the black, or last 2 years they've been wearing the black jerseys quite a bit, but they've been in the traditional Deer Creek royal blue over the last week and this week, so.
Maybe save the black jerseys for a super special occasion.
Yeah.
Sometimes the black looks really sharp.
So we're getting ready for kickoff here, and we'll show you the defensive lineup as soon as we get the kickoff. Who's starting on defense? We'll have that up for you in just a few moments. We know that they're going to be anchored by the big three up front, Xander Crawford, Reed Eden, and Garrick Johnson. All having great years. 2 juniors with a nose guard that's a sophomore. So a young defensive line, but they had a great week last week.
They did a really good job. They bottled the Bulldogs up. At Memorial just couldn't run the ball at all.
Nope.
The only way they were able to move the ball on the field is with a passing game that just slowly ate up 10 yards here, 5 yards there, 11 yards here, and that can be hard to defend.
That's true, and but a lot of high school teams don't have the patience to keep doing that dink and dump that we were gonna give up. We were gonna let them have that 5-yard out route or hitch route all night long.
Right.
Did a great job of keeping them, like you said, keeping them bottled up. I think there was only one big play from the Memorial offense all night, and that was the touchdown pass.
Big touchdown pass.
So here we go. Number 16, Logan Ward, sophomore, 5'11", 200 pounds, is ready for kickoff. District game versus Stillwater.
Here we go.
High kick. Going to sail out of the end zone for
Walker.
a touchback.
Walker was the deep man there for the Pioneers. And they'll get the ball at the 20, Stillwater.
So again, we're going to be probably just calling numbers for the Stillwater team. Don't have a roster up here as of yet. But we will put up we have there's your starters for defense. Reed Eden, Xander Crawford, Garrick Johnson, Ben Likes, Dylan Beers, and Parker Johnson are playing the linebacker. Secondary, and Jacob Johnson. Secondary is anchored by Paxton Gary, Mason Martin, Elijah Allen, and Dylan Diaz. So we'll get to the first play of the game.
Gundy's pass is complete to the far sideline. About a 6-yard gain on the play. Number 6, Smithton on the catch.
I think that's number 5 out there at right corner. Is
that Burright?
That's Burright playing corner tonight. They have struggled a little bit with some corner play, especially with Gary out last week. So
right. This is Walker on the carry for the Pioneers.
Quandrell Walker, number 1.
He sure found a way to scoot through the line there. And there you go, Jarrett Burright on the stop.
First and 10 for the Pioneers, ball to 42. Flags on the play.
They have a penalty on the play.
Delay of game. So surely not a delay of game. They just set the chains and everything.
That's what he signaled.
I wonder if it's maybe a substitution situation.
It must have been.
It had to have been because they didn't have a 30-second play clock yet. There's no way they could have. Because they said it went hurry up, right?
When hurry up, it's hard to.
So Walker in the backfield with Gundy. It's going to be 1st and 15. Gundy with the throw.
Burright's 3 for 3. 3 plays, 3 tackles.
It's about a 6-yard gain on the play. Ball's going to be on the 44-yard line. A 2nd down and 8 to go for the Pioneers. The catch on the play goes to Smithton again.
Ball to Stillwater, 44.
So Gundy gives it off this time to Walker. He's up the middle, and he is tough to bring down.
About 1.5 yards short, Scott. Yeah, you're right. He is a load.
And I don't know if he's not as big as the running backs we faced last week, so he must be a bit more shifty out there. But he's able to find some holes.
The front line looks pretty stout from up here, from where we're looking. Those linemen
look
like
boys.
they're eating their share of porterhouses.
So 3rd down and 1 yard to go.
On.
Ball goes to Walker again, and he somehow squirts through that pile to pick up 4 yards. So Walker doing some early work.
Damage. Yeah, doing the work early, and they're throwing the quick outs. And obviously watched the film last week and saw how we defended Memorial, and we're not quite as deep off the wide receivers as we were.
Burright and Gary just traded sides of the field. We'll see if that comes into play here in a second. Gundy again going towards that Stillwater sideline. I believe that's Smithton with the catch.
Number 9.
Number
Check that as number 6.
Smithton.
Yeah, you had it right.
And Smithton's been the hot receiver in the early going here for the Pioneers. He's been the target every single time. Smithton is a junior, 6'1", 176 pounds. So Walker in the backfield with Gundy, and he takes the ball. And there you go. There's a better stop.
Yeah, big 68. You're not going to get past him very often.
So good defensive play by the
Daxton Byers, senior captain. He's a large man, young man, 6'5", 293.
Wrap him up and don't let him go, and that's the name of the game here, and he didn't. So about a 2-yard gain for Walker. It's going to be 3rd down and about a long 2.
We got the inverted wishbone there out of the shotgun.
It's back to Walker, and he's found a hole.
Look out.
And he's
down to the 10.
He's tackled inside the 10-yard line.
That's called the old ace set. You know, the running back lines up behind the quarterback. Then he's got 2 what we would call fullbacks back in the day. But they're really slot backs, and they could go either side.
Elijah Allen made the touchdown-saving tackle there.
And so they picked the left side that time. That was where they saw the angles and where they thought they could get the hole. And sure enough, he bust down for about 20, 22 yards.
It's a good run. Same formation again. Back to Walker again. And this time he doesn't make it through the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was good to see the momentum stop at the line of scrimmage that time. It's been kind of moving forward, like you said, and he's been squeezing out a couple extra yards after contact.
Every time. This time, though, the defensive line did its job. About a 2-yard gain on the play, so second down goal to go. And it would be great for the Antlers here if they could get a stop and hold Stillwater to 3 points. So same formation again. Ball to Walker on the opposite side this time. And he's
tripped up by number 10, Dylan Diaz there.
Tackled in about the 1-yard line.
Walker slow getting up. I guess he's all right.
Walker is a sophomore. He's only 5'8", so he may be.
Can't see him.
Can't see him. He may be like
those behemoths up front.
Quentin Griffin back in the day for the Oklahoma Sooners. So Walker again with the ball.
Up he got over.
And he broke the plane.
Just
so it's going to be a touchdown
for
the Pioneers.
Well, that's not how we wanted to start. I mean, they marched right down the field, 80-yard drive, overcame one penalty, and pretty much, like you said, they were getting about 4, 5, 6 yards per snap. One big play was the 22-yard run by Walker.
So I've got Rupp in for the extra point. And it's good. So with 7 minutes, 14 seconds left in the first quarter, Stillwater scores the 7 points. Deer Creek is still at 0. That wasn't necessarily a terrible drive for the defense. They only had the one big play.
Yeah, and they got him to third down several times.
Right.
Just it was third and short. So, I mean, they know they have their hands full, but they've got to turn them back a few times to give our offense a chance to control the ball.
So it'll be interesting to see what the offensive calls will look like this evening, because I think one of the in your game plan tonight is probably something that tries to keep the Stillwater offense on the sideline as long as possible, right?
It's kind of like in Billy Tubbs' day in basketball. If you could hold the ball, their offense couldn't score. So a lot of teams would try to slow him down, slow their teams down. This is a high-powered offense. They didn't look real flashy there. They just methodically moved the football 4, 5, 6 yards at a time. Went a little out route here, a little power play there, and probably, I'm not sure how many plays were in that drive, probably 9 or 10.
So Paxton Garrett back there. Glad to see him back on the field after not being able to play last week. And joining him is Elijah Allen. They're set deep to receive this kick from Stillwater.
A little squib kick right to number 28.
He's brought down at the 34-yard line.
Jordan, wide receiver, sophomore, 5'11", 168. Puts us in good field position to start things out. 33-yard line. So let's take a look at our offense. The big guys up front, Keegan DeMario, 53, number 74, Cole Kelly. Snapping will be Tyler Boykin, number 79, Aaron Corbin, and number 68, Daxton Byers. In the backfield, we are going to have number 6, Gavin Huska. He will be taking the snaps. Lamorris Davis is out, injured, and looks like Dylan Diaz will be taking his spot. Axel Welch, Will Michael, Randy Childers, and Paxton Gary will make up the receiver corps.
So Huska to Diaz off the bat. Diaz may lose a couple yards here.
We need those big guys up front to, push that line of scrimmage around a little bit.
That'll be a really important piece of the ball game.
Splitting out Axel Welch to the wide left side. He's normally playing tight end, but they're isolating him over here on the left, and trips receivers up top to the right.
So Huska's doing the double check with me. What play do they want to have?
Stillwater's doing a lot of dancing around up front, which is trying to cause chaos and confusion with the line.
So a quick out.
The 15, that's Will Michael. We saw him come on pretty well in the second half last week.
He did a good
Caught
job.
2 or 3 passes, I think, in the second half. It's good because they needed to start diversifying who they were throwing to. They were throwing to Welch all the time, or one of the running backs, and so you become predictable that way. It's good to see that they're throwing to Will again.
It's about a 7-yard gain on the play, so it's 3rd down and 5. And it'll be less than that now after the flag. So 3rd down and very manageable. I think it, gosh, I don't
Maybe
know.
less than a yard.
It looks like it may be a first. I wonder if they would measure
Yep,
this.
they're gonna wave them on.
Okay.
Good call over there, buddy. We'll take them.
So the penalty will give the Antlers first down and 10 yards to go from the 43-yard line. Diaz is your running back. Burright checking in, and he'll be the receiver at the top of your screen. Paxton's down here on the bottom.
We're going with 2 backs in a slot. They're kind of doing the exact. This is a direct snap to Dylan Diaz.
So
He's got a lot of room.
It's a wildcat call, and Diaz has a great run up to the 40-yard line of the Pioneers.
Terrific call.
Excellent play call for the Antlers.
They were running that inverted A set again, like Stillwater ran against us, but it was a little tighter, and they sent the quarterback in motion to the left, direct snap to Dylan Diaz, and he had a gaping hole.
I've often wondered watching why do they start the quarterback out wide anyway?
Yeah.
Why start? Go ahead and start him in the shotgun and then send him in motion and have the defense adjust to that. So that was a good call, good
run.
scheme.
Absolutely. Welch's back at tight end over here on the left side. Stillwater again doing a lot of dancing around up front.
So Deer Creek with a handoff right into the meat of that defensive line.
You know, I think the whole method behind having all the guys up front, the down linemen and the linebackers, moving around, is to create confusion on our offensive line. But so far, our guys haven't let any penetration come through. They've done a good job, been disciplined to make sure they keep their blocks. So that's a good sign.
I think is that number 29, Dylan Beers, in the backfield now?
Could be. He does play in the short yardage situation down on the goal line. I've seen him there a few times.
So change of the play here. And we're going to have a timeout for Deer Creek.
Coach Stanley's going to call.
So yeah, that's
timeout.
DeBeers in the backfield. So Diaz off to catch a breather. DeBeers in. Or Beers in, DeBeers, not the Diamonds.
Yeah, 5'10", 181. Just shows him as a linebacker, but obviously he has some value at running back.
So the offense looks good here in the early going. They're taking their time. They're not. They haven't thrown a pass play yet.
Yeah, that's right. And that hasn't been our ID so far this year. Our passing has not been. We've only completed 37.9% of our passes. So we're not really burning it up with the passing game. The running game has been what we've hung our hat on with Lamoris Davis, who's not suited tonight. He's averaging over 100 yards a game, and so we're going to try to, by committee, fill his shoes with Diaz and Beers, and I'm sure we'll see number 18, Josh Bakari, sometime during the night.
Well, but Huska was effective last week.
Yes,
he was 10 for 22, which isn't a great percentage, but he had a lot of yards.
Yes, he did.
Passing.
220, I believe it was.
Yeah, so that's 10, 20 yards a catch. That's pretty good.
That's right. 22.7 yards per catch. That's pretty good. Pretty good night. So there you see Stillwater not lining up.
So Stillwater's in a lot of motion. Huska finally gets his call here. Diaz is in the backfield, makes a great pass to Paxton. Gary.
That is a great play, great find.
That is good for a first down and 10 yards to go.
Give it up to our front guys that are really doing a great job of picking up all of this chaotic confusion that Stillwater's trying to throw up. Terrific job by the big guys up front. Got Byers and Corbin over on the right side, Boykin at the center, Kelly and DeMario over on the left.
So Diaz is in the backfield with Huska.
There's the
There goes
quarterback
Huska in motion. Diaz, all right, Stillwater was better prepared this time.
Tackled by number 44. He shot the gap and was in the
So
backfield.
that's Watkins, 6'1", senior, 225. He's going to be a big guy. But it was the identical play they had the big gain earlier, except Huska went the other direction.
I tell you that, in another, I'll talk to you about this in just, they're checking with me, but, we're running the ball a lot, and we're already down to 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. This game is going to fly by. Nice little screen.
So Huska's pass to
still on his feet.
Gary.
Nice play.
And he's tackled inside the 15-yard line. So another good, and these pass plays are quick. They're not looking deep. They're
that was a
looking
little,
for quick
slip
routes.
screen. That's right. There was a little slip screen over there on the left side. Third from the 24-yard line. That's what, third and about 5.
About 5 yards to go. Diaz in the backfield.
Got Welch
trips
over
to the bottom of the screen.
Check out what Axel up at the top.
Axel Welch at the top of your screen, and he was the hot target last week.
Oh,
and here's
my. Go, Paxton.
Here's
Go,
Paxton
buddy.
wide open in the middle of the field, and he's tackled inside the 5-yard line on another well
executed play,
yeah.
well called play. I mean,
Paxton's been wide open. He's found holes that he can make a catch and a play.
they're finding the holes that Stillwater's stunting is leaving, and we're hitting and exploiting that. That's a good sign. That means the scouting has really been on point this week, and the preparation has been on point. That's one thing we noticed last week as well, is that we were prepared. I mean, we it's like we knew what they were doing.
And I think it could be hard to prepare for a defense that dances around like Stillwater has done tonight, because you don't know exactly what's going to happen. And here we go with another Wildcat call.
He's going to get in
Diaz got to the corner, and it's a touchdown. Antlers.
Great.
It looked like he was going to get caught in the backfield, and he was able to step around the defender and get inside that pylon.
Yeah, he bounced that outside, and then wide receiver did his job and made a great block, and Dylan Diaz just walked into the end zone untouched after he got to the outside. Terrific answer by our Antlers tonight.
Good score. So coming off the field right now is number 68.
His helmet
Daxton
came off.
Byers. His helmet came off, and he's by rule has to come off the field.
We got time. 15 seconds to go in the.
So that's going to be
Oh, mercy. You have to call a timeout.
Cole Kelly taking his place. They still had about 15 seconds left on the play clock.
Well,
but you want to get it
yeah,
right.
you want to get it right. Exactly. And when, Byers had to come out because his helmet came off, it kind of created a little ripple effect of confusion. We didn't know who was.
Well, and Burright was a late ad, too, trying to get to his position. So that's 2 timeouts the Antlers have had to take here in the first quarter. We hope that that doesn't come back to get them towards the end of the half. They're usually a little bit more important in the second half, though.
Absolutely. So good answer to the initial drive. We've had 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Waiting the extra point for the Antlers, getting everything lined up after.
I've got that drive at unofficially about 5.5, 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's just under 3 minutes, and it was right at. You're exactly right.
So that was a good drive for the Antlers. Anything to keep that Stillwater offensive bunch off the field. And they have been lethal.
Yeah, they put 60 points up against Memorial in the opening week. I'm not sure who they had last week, but they played a little closer game the second week, but they still scored over 30. So tie game. Here we are, 2:56 to go in the first quarter. Deer Creek 7, Stillwater 7.
So the extra point is good for Logan Ward. I tell you what, that kid is pretty consistent in the kicking game.
Yep, and he's
been
just
really
sophomore.
consistent this year.
Just a sophomore. That's good news that your kicker's going to be around for another 3 years.
Yeah, you want that, because sometimes in high school ball it can be an adventure when you get to the kicking team.
Boy, that's the truth. That is the truth.
But his punting's been excellent. His field goal work has been excellent. Even in the rain in Norman, he was still really consistent.
That's right. Talking about how important Paxton Gary is to this team, I mean, you pointed it out that he found those open gaps in the secondary for just 5 or 6 yards on the catch, and then he created more yards after the catch. So his value is already being felt. We missed him last week. Thank goodness we didn't need him. But
he's crazy. He's been critical, and he provides some balance in who we can throw the ball to. We know Axel Welch can catch it, and we knew that Paxton could catch it. So it was great to see him be active tonight.
Absolutely. So we're content to kick it through the end zone tonight. No crazy onside pooch kicks or anything like that. So it's kind of getting boring. It was kind of fun those first couple of weeks watching
You never knew what was going to happen.
Coach Stanley
kept everybody on their toes. So here comes the second offensive series for the Pioneers. They were able to march the ball down the field relatively easily the first time through. They didn't have any big, huge plays, but they did. They just 5 and 6 and 7 yards every single time. So we'll see what happens this time around. That's Walker with the ball again. about a 6-yard gain to the 26.5-yard line.
I like how he runs. He doesn't mess around. He gets from A to B as quickly as possible.
And he is hard to get a hold of. He disappears in that.
The example, Quentin Griffin. That's exactly kind of player he reminds me. Just scat back that can get through the.
Just slides right behind the big guys. There he goes again, Walker.
So 2 plays, 16 yards for the kid.
So the ball's going to be on the 36-yard line. It's going to be first down and 10 Pioneers. A steady dose of Walker early here.
First and 10 for the Pioneers. Ball from 37.
So Gunnar Gundy in the backfield with Walker. Walker with the ball again.
Uh-oh.
And he just gets behind those big guys and finds a hole.
He finds a hole, and then he gets those legs going. Our second level is getting blocked, and by that I mean our linebackers are. They're doing a good job with both the front level, the 3-down linemen, and then they're getting to Beers. They're getting to Ben Likes. Our interior linebackers are getting sealed off pretty efficiently by those big boys from Stillwater.
So first down, 10 yards to go from the 50. Gundy with the ball, and again, the handoff to Walker.
That's much better.
And they've got him this time.
I just happened to watch the linebackers on that play, and the linebackers didn't get blocked. And that's the difference. You
can make a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
So about a 2.5-yard gain on the play. 3 yards, looks like 3 yards officially. So it's going to be second down, 7 yards to go.
Garrett Johnson was not to be denied on that last play. He and Beers were on the play to limit him to just 3 yards.
And sometimes it looks like they get him right at the line of scrimmage, and he's one of those kids that just falls the right way.
Quick pass to number 13.
So Gundy's pass is complete to Brown.
Looks like he's going to have enough for a first down there, Scott.
So that's the first non-Smithton catch tonight for Stillwater, and that's going to be to the 39-yard line, first down and 10 yards to go. Again, not a huge play, but Stillwater methodically moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, new running back, number 38, I believe.
So the new running back in is Jones. And this looks like a bit of thunder and lightning here.
5'5", 184. This guy is even smaller.
And he's pretty stocky.
Yeah, he's like a little fire plug, you know what I mean?
So Jones with the carry.
About 3.
Another 3-yard gain.
Tackle number 33, Ben Lights. Number 68, Paxton Myers.
So we got to, I'm hearing the public address announcer announcing the tackles. Our linebackers and our D linemen are making tackles, and that's keeping them to about 3 yards.
So Gundy's pass.
Right on target.
On the money.
Nice catch by number 81.
Went to Tracy. And he was pretty well defended on the play.
Yeah,
that ball had
that
to be in the exact spot.
Ball was between the 8 and the 1
yeah.
On target.
So that pass play's good for a gain to the 25-yard line.
See if they try to snap the ball for the end of the first quarter.
10. There's 7 seconds left. It doesn't look like they're going to do it.
They'll get the wind at their back a little bit more at the turn of the quarter.
So there's the end of the first quarter. Probably the fastest first quarter play we've had this year.
That's true. This is the way it used to be before they threw it 60 times a game. But, yeah, so we're going to see if we can't slow them down here in the second quarter. Again, defensively, we're playing well. Those big guys up front are controlling the line of scrimmage a little bit too much for, I'm sure, Coach Stanley's taste. And maybe he'll start doing some run blitzes or things like that, shake it up a little bit to get those gaps closed down.
I wonder if it's just maybe an alignment situation too, where if you can move your front line just a little bit in one direction or another can make it a little bit more challenging for the Pioneers to get off the ball and get to that second level.
Well, what Stillwater is doing, they're running with what's called what we call it a lot of different things, called a nasty slot, and that's when you're lined up in between the tackle and the tackle and the guard in a slot position, and you're just another lineman really, but you're off the ball. And I've been watching what he's been doing. He's just taking care of the outside linebacker, making sure and it's not coming in. And then all the other linemen are blocking the opposite direction, so they're getting angles on us. And so a blitz would be good hit those gaps before they can get you sealed off. That could cause some chaos. But anyways, it's enough football 101 there for you.
So Walker's back on it. He's got the ball, and he's met.
Number 41, it looks like. Parker Johnson.
Yep, Parker had him. But again, he's Walker stretches forward and picks up several yards after contact. So the gain is good to the 19-yard line. It's going to be second down and about 4 yards to go for the Pioneers.
Well, you see number 46 and I can't get that number over on the right side, but they're both in that little slot area. Now we got in motion. We're going to have a load play to the left side. And they got his great play.
So Walker on the carry again, and he's met by Diaz and dropped.
Dropped him, not a first down. Big play right there by number 10. Big play.
So it's going to be about third down, not about third down. It is third down. It's about 2 yards to go. I was getting my numbers all confuzzled. So big third play down here. The defense has yet to really have Stillwater at a no-gain sort of play. So we'll have to see if anything can happen here and they can get a big play.
Another power play right up the middle.
So ball goes to Walker. He is just a tough kid to bring down.
And the thing about it, again, like we've said before, he wasn't touched until he was well into the second level.
So he's tackled at the 10-yard line, and it looks like it is going to be first down and goal. So they've got to get it in the end zone.
And they got a legitimate 10 yards to go, too.
Yeah, they got the full 10. I thought there for a minute they were going to have the chains go ahead and set up, but the referee on the far side told them to go ahead and lay those guys down. So Gundy to Walker. It's been a diet of Walker, and why not? It's a touchdown for the Pioneers.
He contributed in that 80-yard drive. He contributed probably at least 35, 40 of those, at least half the yards. I mean, he had 16 carries on the 16 yards on the first two. Oh, we're going to have a penalty, though.
Touchdown is good, so the penalty will come after the touchdown.
So they'll do it on the kickoff. I think they're asking Coach Stanley if he wants it on the kickoff or on the extra point.
I wonder if in this case you maybe take it on the extra point, make the extra point an adventure. But I don't know how good the field goal kicker is for Stillwater. So it looks like it'll be assessed on the kickoff.
Referee,
oh, no, they're going to mark it off right now.
Mark it off now. Referee
we'll
Eddie Adams making the call there.
Correction. Penalty will be enforced on the extra point.
Now, this is going to be interesting because these extra points could come into play later on.
They certainly can. You want to make sure you get this right. So now the Stillwater coaching staff is wanting to talk with the referees. And that's Eggleston in to kick the extra point for the Pioneers. So we're going to have a conference call on the 20-yard line with the Stillwater coaching staff, probably just to get some clarification on exactly what's going on here.
So 28, Eggleston will attempt the kick, 35-yard legitimate field goal in the middle of the field.
The snap was bobbled, and the extra point is no good. And we had a judo chop from the referee under the goalpost.
That was good. That made my night right there.
I wonder if we could get a replay of that. Probably not, but it was great.
That was
so 10 minutes, 18 seconds left.
Mario Franklin doing the high kick, high karate chop there. Good job. And he almost got it. Almost got it.
So we got 10 minutes, 18 seconds left to go in the second quarter. The extra point is missed because of the penalty. We'll see if that comes back to haunt anybody. And it's your Deer Creek Antlers 7, the Stillwater Pioneers 13. And again, that drive just pretty methodical right up the field.
That's two 80-yard drives here in the on two possessions. They've gone the length of the field, hadn't had much of a resistance from our guys. Now we put them in third down a few times, but there's always been 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. They haven't seen 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9 or 10 or anything like that yet tonight. And
they haven't had 3rd and long yet. Yeah.
And you think that they probably would be pretty good at that too with Gundy's arm.
So Eggleston in to kick again. And last time he gave it a kick, it was sort of a line drive squib kick.
Yeah.
Like he just hit it right in the middle of the ball, and it had that real funky spin on it.
Went right to Jackson Jordan, and he got us to about the 35. Let's see what they do now.
So here we go. All right, this one he hits a good one, and it's going to go over Paxton Gary's head. All right. The Antlers looked really sharp on their first opening drive. They had some great play calls to take advantage of the kind of the unique situation that Stillwater defense was presenting them. So it'll be exciting to see what happens now.
Well, that first drive, you always look to see if your scouting report was worth the paper it was written on, and obviously they have the scout down because they knew what Stillwater was doing with all that crazy, jumping around and everything, finding the gaps, and then had a few kind of trick plays, if you will, with the quarterback motion and the Wildcat set too.
So Beers in the backfield gets the ball and is met very close to the line of scrimmage. He may have squirted for 1 yard there.
There was a hole there for a brief moment.
I thought he might be able to hit it.
Yeah. It's where we might miss Davis a little bit more than
some of his quickness.
That quickness has always been pretty good to us the first 3 games.
So Beers in the backfield. Huska checking with his coaches, making sure they've got the right play called. Stillwater has not been jumping around as much this time around. So the quick pass out wide.
It's a little to his right, and he couldn't quite get his bearings after he caught it.
So Will Hinton on the catch, but it was not the best throw. That pass on the first drive was better timing, and the receiver was able to pick up some yardage.
After the catch, that's right. He didn't really have a chance there.
So it's 3rd down and long.
And you made a good point that Stillwater's kind of just setting into a regular formation, not trying to do all that goofy jumping around, and they're in the places that they need to be.
So I would imagine that would make it a little bit easier for your Antlers to get a block on. That's a dangerous pass, almost intercepted by Stillwater and almost caught by Burright.
That was dangerous. From where we're sitting, that angle was right. We saw that cornerback come off that out route right away, and it was like, oh, mercy.
There's nobody that's going to stop him.
No,
so
he was going to walk in the
So
end
if he
zone.
catches the ball there, it's curtains for the Antlers on that particular play. So the Stillwater defense does its job.
Gets the 3 and out.
Gets a 3 and out, and the Antlers actually go backwards a little bit.
Logan Ward will have to try to kick us into a favorable field position.
And Logan's kicking into a little bit of a wind, but again, the wind tonight is mostly blowing across the field towards the top of your screen.
It's kicking it away from number 7, Martin. And they'll start on their side of the field, but pretty close to midfield. Yeah, we got a good bounce there. So
but it's going to be good field position for the Antlers as they take over at about the 44-yard line.
So again, we're at Thursday night football because of the forecast of impending rain and storms tomorrow. Somewhere around 3 inches of rain is expected, and embedded thunderstorms. Lightning just stops everything. So a lot of teams and schools across the state made the decision to just back it up and play on Thursday night.
Deer Creek is kind of in a funky area anyway with water and lots of water.
That's true.
Because it's been known to flood. So it's probably a good idea to go ahead and play tonight. Gundy looking to pass.
He pulls it back.
Pulls it down and is caught, and he gains about 1 yard on the play.
Big 99 Mike Bakari, 6', 227 on top of him, along with Parker Johnson, it looks like. Wasn't a sack because he did crease the line of scrimmage just a little bit, but the pressure, secondary, it was a what you call a coverage sack, I guess.
Defense did its job there. So 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Gundy in the backfield with Walker.
Got a nice crowd here tonight for Thursday night football.
Ball goes to Walker. He gets through that line of scrimmage again.
Mercy.
2nd level. Gain on the play is good to the 44-yard line of the Antlers. He is hard to bring down.
And he's going right up the chute, right between the center and the guard, what they call an A-gap on both sides. He's just going right. He's following that big center of his. in his lead back, number 46. He's been doing a great job of picking up some blocks up there. He is T. Boone.
Oh, I wonder if there's a relation.
It's a T-Bone.
So Walker again.
Again, they're just taking our
And he's in the
inside line.
defensive backfield before he's getting touched.
That's right.
So that gain is good to the 29-yard line. So Stillwater on the march again.
You got our best player. They're running at our best defensive player in Dylan Beers, and he's not getting touched. So their scheme is definitely taking advantage of
And they're
our
running
interior.
And they're not going wide. They're going right in between the tackles. Right in
Exactly,
between
yeah.
the guards
Yeah,
for the most part. They
the
have,
A gaps. Those A gaps, B gaps were just outside the guard, between the guard
these
and
aren't stretch plays or sweeps
No.
or student body left or right or anything. It's just right up the guts. So Gundy to Walker again.
Now that time we got great penetration, stood up the line, and there's Dylan Beers making the play. That's what you want.
Gain of 1 yard on the play. So that's an excellent stop by your Antlers on Walker. He's been chewing it up tonight.
He's got to be probably close to getting in the neighborhood of 100 yards.
Yeah, he's been very good.
He had the big 20-something yard run in the first drive of the night, and
He's had 2 15-yard runs on this drive. So again, Walker in the backfield with Gundy. Gundy looking to pass this time.
bringing
He's
it
under
off
some
the
pressure.
edge with Diaz.
Gundy
All right,
being left-handed.
will it be
Okay, let's see what happens.
grounding? It is not.
Okay.
So again, why? It was last
So Rick
week.
and I were both looking at officials to see what was going to happen here.
Oh,
But Gundy being left-handed, that was a favorable rollout
Yes,
for
it
him, and it
was.
gave him the opportunity to.
And those are what happened on last week against Memorial when we got called for one of those.
Right, we're not necessarily looking for grounding there, but that was
But that was called last week, and
Right.
then I think Southmore had it called on them twice.
right. So in an almost an identical play. So 3rd and long for the first time tonight for the Pioneers, and they dial up who else?
Yeah.
Mr. Walker, and he
Not
is
gonna
going to
make it.
be short.
Good job, boys.
So defense does its job. Walker gains to the 20-yard line. It'll be 4th down and
See,
about a yard.
41 and 33 coming up from the bottom. That's Ben Likes and Parker Johnson.
And why not go for it? Every time Walker's touched the ball, he's picked up at least 3 or 4 yards. So here we
Stand him
go.
up. There we
Walker,
go.
he's met in the
Oh,
backfield, and they can't wrap him up. And I thought we had
Out
him.
for a second. That's right.
So gain to about the 11-yard line. So it's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Pioneers. They can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown based on the spot of the ball.
And they are chewing up the clock. We've had the ball twice. This is the 3rd possession for Stillwater.
Yeah, this game is moving right along with all this ground stuff.
Yep.
So Walker stays in the backfield with Gundy. They're running this inverted wishbone.
Look for a power play to the right. There he goes. Great play by Beers.
Oh, and they hung on to him in the backfield. Excellent defensive tackle.
Shot the gap, and that's what we were talking about earlier. We were mentioning this earlier. I mean, if you start doing some run blitzing and shoot gaps and things like that, what Dylan just did, you can catch him in the backfield every now and then. Standing up with these guys has not been working so far.
No. It's a 2-yard gain on the play
Beers shot that gap
for
really
Walker. And even on that one, the contact was made in the backfield, and they were, Walker was still able to get a couple
2
yards out of
That's
that.
amazing.
So Gundy looking to pass. He's got his receiver open on this bottom edge, and it is a touchdown.
Number 6.
Smithton, that's been the hot receiver for Gundy tonight.
He ran what's called a little slant out. He sells the slant, gets inside, and then he plants his foot, pivots, and goes to the outside. Our coverage was there. It's just awful hard to catch up when they make that pivot move. And
Gundy had time to let all that develop, too. It was not the fastest of development
he threw a
for the
strike.
routes. Yeah,
and he threw a strike.
I wonder if his dad knows anything about quarterbacking.
I don't know. I wonder if
So the Pioneers need to go for 2 here, I guess, if you're looking at the scoreboard situation.
Right. See if they can't make that
So to make up the
little boot play.
extra point. And Gundy finds Smithton again for the 2-point conversion.
Little bootleg play. He could have run it in if he wanted to, but
Probably
he found his third receiver. That's how much time he had.
So Smithton has been the hot man on the receiving side for the Pioneers tonight, but they've only thrown the ball maybe 5 times. It's been a diet of Walker pretty much right up the middle.
Yep.
And we've had a hard time stopping him.
Power game is Norman kind of did that to us too. They kind of lined up and just punched us in the mouth a little bit. The conditions were a little wet and soggy. And they, with their big backs, kind of ran downhill at us as well. So,
will you please meet by the scoreboard when there is 4 minutes left?
So Eggleston in to kick the ball off for the Pioneers. That touchdown gives the visitors 21-7 lead. There's 4 minutes, 40 seconds left until the half.
So Coach Stanley may need to open it up maybe a little bit, see if he can't get the ball thrown around a little bit. I don't know. They haven't had much success doing that. And Stillwater's defense looks pretty stout, so we'll see how he responds on this next drive.
So this ball is going to be a questionable whether or not it could be down in the end zone.
Well, he caught it in play and then backed up into the end zone. And
his momentum carried him in there.
But once you catch it in play.
Now, he could have taken a knee in the end zone at that point, could he not?
No, I mean, the referee was
looking at him.
Like winding the clock. So.
Yeah. So kind of a weird kickoff return for the Antlers. And that's going to put the ball at the 10-yard line. So that's going to be a tough start, tough sledding.
Yep.
The worst field position of the night for the Antlers.
For either team, that's right. If the Antlers are going to have to do some work with 4:40 to go in the first half.
So Beers is going to be in the backfield with Diaz. No, he's not. Beers is off. Diaz on, Beers off. Trips to the bottom of your screen.
They haven't really taken advantage of Axel being on the corner over there. Number
so good pass and catch there from
87. Randy Childers, one of his, I think that's only his second catch of the year, maybe his first. Yeah, it's his first catch.
First catch of the year. Good job.
Nice
good
job,
catch.
Mr.
Came to the 21-yard line, so it's going to be second down and about 4 to go. That was a better timed throw.
Exactly.
That was
exactly.
Gave the receiver time to do what he needed to do to pick up some positive yards. So high snap here, throws off the timing. Diaz takes the ball from Huska and is into the pile.
Right now our guys aren't moving the line like Stillwater's line is doing against us. We're kind of getting stood up there, and our running game is suffering as a result of it. Nowhere to go. And you got a lot of guys going two ways. You got Beers, you got Diaz, you got Burright. A lot of guys doing double duty.
Double duty, Iron Man football. So Huska looking to pass. He's got a receiver, and he throws an interception.
Number 7, he may go, into the end zone. Touchdown, Stillwater.
So that's Martin on the pick 6.
Touchdown, Stillwater.
And that ball did not.
He was kind of hiding in there in the coverage, and he just stepped up, and I don't think Huska ever saw him.
It was similar to the one that,
was
knocked down earlier.
They probably could have had 2 of them.
Number 28, you're right.
So that puts us in a bigger hole, and this is not what we wanted going into halftime, being down to a high-powered offense like the Pioneers have.
So Eggleston in for the extra point.
Second quarter has not been good to us.
No. And
tonight.
It's good. And so Stillwater back on schedule, as it were. And with 3 minutes, 54 seconds left in the second quarter, Deer Creek 7 and the Pioneers 28. So they've scored 21 straight.
They have, basically every time they touch the ball, they scored. Even when the defense touches the ball, they scored. So this isn't the formula that Coach Stanley was looking for. He was hoping to, control the ball a little bit better like he did the first drive, and then hope that his defense could get some stops out there. But right now, That hasn't been the case. He's talking to his quarterback down there. Or check that. That's Coach Paul, I believe.
Well, he's had Huska's had 2 balls that probably shouldn't have been thrown in the direction they were.
Right. Yeah.
Because both balls, the Stillwater defense had a player ready to make a play.
Right underneath. That's right.
Yep. So here we go.
Check that. That was probably quarterback's coach, Coach Cantwell, talking to Huska. Another squibber.
Sort of a knuckleballer.
Here comes Elijah.
And he's got a gap over there if he can get through it.
Good blocking over there on the left
So
side.
Elijah Allen out to the 34-yard line. So that's a good return for the Antlers. They've got 3 minutes, 46 seconds left in the first half here to work something out. A touchdown before the halftime whistle would be excellent.
That would be excellent.
But they had a three and out with a punt, and they had a
We're going to get the
interception on
football.
last
We're
2
going to get the
drives.
football to start the second half.
Right.
So if we can get a big play, even get a field goal right here would give you some momentum, and then you come out try to carry that momentum with the first possession.
Now, our first drive where we scored, it took a while. We chewed
Yes.
up a lot of clock.
Yeah.
So important to move the ball down the field. Maybe a bit more briskly than they did in the first half. By no means do they need to go into any sort of hurry-up situation. Diaz in the backfield with Huska. And if he can get around that corner, he can pick up some yardage, and he
There
does.
he goes.
So Dylan Diaz
It's a first down. It
looks like he's got a 10-yard gain on the play.
Nice play. Nice job of Dylan looking for his blocking.
So it's going to be first down and 10 Antlers, and it looked like Stillwater really sent the house that time, and we got out of it.
Yeah, we got out of it. Yeah, we ran around at that time. Now Diaz has also been banged up a little bit the last 2 weeks. He first got dinged in the Norman game, and last week he had some hobbling plays, and he ran off the field a little gingerly that time. So I hope he's okay.
He only plays one way, and that's hard.
Yeah. There's Stillwater into their crazy man defense.
So Beers takes the carry. Picks up about 3 yards on the play.
So we're up about midfield, 3 minutes to go. We're in good shape here.
So the 47-yard line. It's going to be second down and about 7. Beers looks like he's going to stay in. Offense checking the sideline for the play call.
And we're letting precious time burn here. And there's probably some logic to that because you don't want Stillwater to have the football.
Right. So Burright's at the top of your screen. Paxton Gary's at the bottom. Ball goes to Beers up the middle. He's to the 50-yard line. So a gain of 3. That's going to make it third down and about 4. Feels like a long 4. Beers off, Diaz on.
I think you need to, if you're going to throw it, you need to throw it down the middle, down the field, 10, 15-yard route.
Paxton Gary's been able to find the holes in the defense tonight. He's at the bottom of your screen, so keep an eye on him.
You got 2 guys on him now, though.
Diaz in the backfield, a crazy snap, and
Huska's
got it. If he can get around there, he's gonna be close to a first down. It depends on where the spot from the referee is going to be. And where he's standing right now, where the referee's standing right now, I say is a first down. We'll have to look.
Well, now the middle guy kind of moved it back. Well,
so the linesman on this side says first down. Referee says first down. Umpire says first down. So
Stillwater
there go
over on the other side saying that's not a first down.
I don't know. I think this is a situation where the ball was spotted in one place and wound up backwards just a skosh.
Just a little bit. Okay,
but it worked
less than
out
2
good.
minutes now.
So we've got 2 minutes to go, 45 yards to go. Ball to Diaz. And if he can stretch his play out and get around the end there, he's got room.
There you go.
It's another great run by Diaz. Gets out of bounds, which is good. Stops the clock at the 40-yard line. So it's a 6-yard gain on the play. It's going to be second down, 4 yards to go.
He shows a little of that deceptive speed there he has. He outran number 20.
He did.
Who was that?
Holly,
yeah. Just outran him.
So Deer Creek's found they've got a secret sauce going here by trying to get on the edges of Stillwater. So we'll see if they can keep that up. Beers in.
There we go. We'll take 5 free ones right there.
So it's going offsides against the Pioneers.
That'll give us a first down.
Should be a first down and 10 yards to go for the Antlers after the penalty.
There we go. This is looking more like what happened in the first drive in the first quarter.
Stillwater subs off the offender. So you got Paxton at the top of your screen,
walk of
Burright on the
shame.
bottom. Yeah, you know exactly why you're being subbed. Beers in the backfield with Huska. And here comes Stillwater.
They brought seven guys.
They brought the
guys
house,
right
and
there.
we ran right into it. So somehow Beers scrapes out a yard running into the teeth of the Stillwater defense. And they brought everybody.
Again, we're not looking like we're in too big a hurry with 90 seconds to go in the first half. We still have 34 yards if we want to get to 6. I'd love to get to 6, not just the 3.
We've got 1 timeout to go. We had to call 2 timeouts in the first half. And now you got Burright and Paxton down here on the bottom of your screen. Ball's going to go to Burright. If he can make a miss, he's got some room to run. And he's going to be out of bounds about the 24-yard line.
24-yard line.
So
now, you remember at game 1, it was his legs that really made the difference in that first half against Southmore.
Right.
He was scrambling around and moving. He's got some good
He's got some good vision.
Yes, he does.
Beers off, Diaz on, ball's out of bounds, clock stops. There's 1:07 left. Deer Creek's got 1 timeout left that they can use when and if they need it.
Right now we're looking at a 41-yard field goal. I don't know if Logan can quite get that.
It's going to be the edges of his accuracy.
Good
Huska
hitch
finds, oh man. Huska was looking for Burright, quarterback to quarterback there, and the ball sailed just a little bit on Huska and went over Burright's head. If Burright can make that catch,
he'd be down to about the 10, 15-yard line
right,
at least.
He also needed to grow about 6 more inches.
Yeah.
But that was a good play call, and they had Stillwater right where they wanted him. And again, it looked like Stillwater was bringing the house.
Yep.
They seem to really be overloading the left-hand side of our line.
And you know, the thing about it is when they were playing straight up, they stopped us 3 and out. Now that they're going back to this little crazy stuff, we're moving the ball again.
So
There
Diaz
they
in
go.
the backfield with Huska.
I don't, whatever. That's not football. What are you doing? Give me a break.
And again, we're looking for the end zone.
Well, he's all over him. No.
Pass fall's incomplete. Looked like it was a back shoulder throw. So, again, quarterback to quarterback. So that was Burright on the route. And the pass didn't have enough umph. I think that was one where he was trying to go back shoulder into the end zone.
Exactly right. And that's
a hard throw.
It's a long throw.
And you got to get it up.
You don't realize how that's just, throwing it to the numbers from the hash on the right side to the numbers on the left. That's a hard throw.
So Gary and Huska on the top of your screen. Or I'm sorry, Gary and Burright on the top of your screen. Oh, and the ball's batted down. Huska's pass, it looked like he was going for
Paxton Gary,
one. Yeah. So that ball gets knocked down. We're on the edge of field goal range. It's 4th down, 10 yards to go. We'll see what the coaching staff decides to do here. This is a big call. You want to get this one right. They do have a quarterback. They have a timeout to spare.
Yes, they do.
Should they need it.
Well, here's the risk. You go for it here. There's still 50 seconds on the clock. You're going to give Stillwater and Gundy a shot. Now, I don't think their field goal special teams is going to be anything to be worried about.
So
but
Deer Creek's going to go for it. They got trips to the top of your screen.
This
Diaz
is
in the
gutsy.
backfield. Huska's.
But you got to do it. I think they're going to go to Welchel. Oh, Welch, there he is. Zip it
He
in
made
there.
made the catch, and he's going to
be.
be close. It's going to depend on the spot. It's going to be really close. And the referees gave him to the 13-yard line.
Double covered, that kid can make plays.
And he took a lick. He knew he was going to, and he held on for dear life. And it's going to be 1st down and 10 yards to go for your Antlers. 43 seconds left. Clock continues to run.
What about that throw? Who's going? Man, he
right
threw it
on the money.
Right on the money.
Diaz in the backfield. We got.
There he is.
Paxton.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have interference on that one for sure.
So Paxton and Burright at the top of your screen there. Ball intended for Paxton. Gary got a flag on the play. I bet it's going to be pass interference or maybe defensive holding.
Number 24, he was
So
bumping
defensive
him pretty
holding.
hard.
So that'll move the ball a little bit closer to the goal line. 30 seconds left now. We're going to have a famous final scene here
So
right before the first half ends.
Half the distance to the goal, I believe, since they're inside the 20.
So the ball's going to be at the 7-yard line. The Antlers can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown. Burright off, a whole new package of wide receivers on. They're at the top of the field. Diaz is in that bunch out there.
They've got Paxton Gary all by himself over here on the right side. They got
Huska alone in the backfield.
little posse.
Oh.
That will make the coach stay awake at night. Right there.
So Stillwater not doing anything different, dancing around on defense like they've done on this drive. And as you pointed out earlier, Rick, when Stillwater does this dancing around business, we've been able to move the ball on them. So
we really have. We've been finding the holes that they've been leaving when they're doing all that.
Right.
You can't be. I mean, I know there's got to be some method to that madness, but you can't be sound. To me, I'm one of those old-fashioned guys. You can't be sound when you're running all over the place like that. I don't know.
So here we go. Same formation. Ball goes to Paxton Gary, and flags come from just about everybody who's got one.
Second time Mr. Butler's been flagged for grabbing a hold of the receiver when the ball's in the air.
Be defensive holding or pass interference. It was holding on the first call. It's going to be holding again, so it's going to be half the distance to the goal, which should be first down and goal to go for the Antlers.
Back judge was demonstrating to young number 24, Mr. Butler, saying, "This is what you were doing." He grabbed his jersey.
This is why you're being
This
penalized.
is why the yellow hanky is on the floor or on the turf. Tell him a basketball guy on the floor.
Diaz
Mercy.
in the backfield, trips to the top of your screen.
You got Welch down here isolated.
Welch on his own on the bottom.
Good old Welch.
26 seconds left.
Axel 6'6". He's being covered by, he's a freshman, too. They don't even have his size. He's so small.
Uh-oh. We got a conference call with the referees on the far side of the field. Not sure what they're trying to talk about here.
Well, there wasn't enough. The half the distance to the goal was not enough to give him a first down, I guess, since it was holding and not pass interference.
Okay, so it's going to be first down and about 4 yards to go. Deer Creek can't get a first down without getting a touchdown, so that remains true. So
you throw a jump ball to Axel down there. They backed off of him.
There it is, and
touched it. Oh,
right through Axel's hands. That was Welch. Sorry,
Axel Welch.
Yep.
Wide, the
hit him
cornerback backed off of him real quick, but gave it up. And Husica was smart enough to throw it quick and not up in the air. And
it's a good throw.
It's a really good throw. So now we're going to go
to Axel will want that one back.
Little posse formation at the top. 4 wide receivers to the left. Paxton Gary down here by himself to the right.
Empty backfield.
The check with me here.
Diaz was in that bunch at the top of your screen last time.
It
should be an incomplete pass. So that's 2 balls we've had hit our receivers, hit the kids right in the hands.
Right in the hands. They were running before they got it.
They sure were. And Diaz usually makes that catch, and so does Axel. So
that's right.
A couple of instances here of some shaky catching. It's going to be third down, about 3 yards to go. There's 22 seconds left in the half. We have plenty of time.
Yeah, there's 2 down plus a timeout. This is 2 down territory. I like this formation up at the top.
I do too. So here goes
Huska,
the quarterback keeper, and he's got a hole up the middle, and he's in the end zone.
What a call.
Touchdown, Antlers.
Heck of a call.
Great call, because they've thrown the past several plays, they've thrown the ball way wide with this bunch formation, and Stillwater was not ready for the quarterback draw there.
No, they weren't. And, we've had success running that this year, so that they probably knew it could happen, but, boy, they're just attacking the edges, and then, bam, right up the middle with a draw. So perfect call, Coach
Logan
Stanley.
Ward in to kick the extra point here, and if he can make this is a big deal. The Stillwater comes after him, and the extra point is good. So with 16 seconds left in the second quarter, your Deer Creek Antlers 14, the Stillwater Pioneers 28, and 7 of those 28 points came off of a pick 6.
That's right.
So now you got to wonder, if you make a better throw there, what happens?
We've got their crash course, Crash Bandicoot, whatever defense that they're running over there. We've got that figured out. We know how to attack that. We haven't been very good when they were lining straight up and just, daring us to run at them. So hopefully at halftime we'll find those adjustments where we can move the football against either.
Right.
Coach Stanley has a great game plan tonight, attacking that that moving around the line of scrimmage.
It's something that you don't see very often.
I don't think I've seen. I think I've seen it once. Maybe it was on Madden football. I don't know. I just know every football coach I know that's my age or around my age would look at that and go, "What are you doing?"
It's like Tecmo Bowl. It's like where you hit the top trigger button and then makes your defensive line get bigger, get smaller, get bigger, get smaller.
There you go. You're a child of the 70s for sure.
So here we go with the kickoff. 16 seconds left. Deer Creek will get and the wind blows the ball off the tee, so we're going to set this up and have another go. Deer Creek does get the ball to start the second half.
That's we got to survive 16 seconds, and we're going to have the football freshened up and ready to go in the second half. This is good for our kids.
So if we can figure out how to stop the Stillwater Express with their run game.
Make that tackle. There it is. Make that tackle. There we go.
So if we can solve the Walker run up the middle, that'll go a long ways to help us crawl back into this game, and especially if we can get some points off our first possession.
It'll be good to put the pressure on these guys, see if they can.
So Stillwater will get the ball on the 33-yard line. About 10 seconds left to go in the half. We'll see what they do here. Gundy in the backfield with Walker. And it's been Walker, Walker, Walker. And here they fake it to him. Gundy's forced.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
20. Ball's returned to the 19-yard line. There's 4 seconds left to go in the half.
We might could get 3 out of this at least.
So a poor pass by Gundy. Intercepted.
Number 52. My man, Xander Crawford, 5'7", 235, just had his dreams come true. Ball right in his lap.
And if he's not as stout, he maybe scores on that.
If he follows a couple blocks, he may be going into the end zone. He is hamming it up over here in front of the student section.
So a great defensive play by the Antlers, and boy, did they need it running into halftime. So we've got 4 seconds left.
We're going to go for the touchdown here.
You got time for maybe one quick play and a timeout, or a touchdown. It's got to be one of those two things. So Stillwater takes a timeout this time. And the coaches for the Antlers can talk about it and figure out exactly what play they want to call.
Do you have a 19-yard play in your playbook? That's the question.
We haven't had one tonight. And here's the other question. Whatever play happens, can we get it over with in 3 seconds? In case it's a miss.
That's probably maybe a quick out route to get them a little bit closer for the field goal, or you got to throw it in the end zone. It's one or the other.
I wonder if, Dylan Diaz a couple weeks ago ran that little wheel route out of the backfield and was wide open.
That's right. That'd be a good call.
And that was against Norman. And he just took off to the races. I wonder if they could go to a play similar to that and try and, who are your fast kids?
You got Diaz right there. You got Burright up at the top.
So you got Diaz, Burright. You got Paxton, Gary down here on the bottom of your screen.
Look for the wheel route over here on the right side. You got Diaz set up to the right.
So Diaz in the backfield with Huska. Here we go. Probably the last play of the game. Diaz is going to block. Huska's looking, and he's passed towards the end zone. Oh, falls incomplete. Just just over. Who was it? 87.
87. Be Randy Childers.
Randy Childers. Ball goes just over his head.
So a lot of momentum with the Antlers as we come off the field, trailing 14. So that's good. The guys need to go in there feeling pretty good about themselves.
It's a great defensive play to end the
Wish we could have got some points there, but, hey, momentum is pretty valuable as well.
That's right. So that's the end of the first half of play. Deer Creek Antlers 14, Stillwater Pioneers 28.
marching band is under the direction of Darby Cassidy, Wendy Bedford, and Darren Heath, with additional instruction by Cameron Duncan. Tonight's music was arranged by Carol Chambers and Dave Marvin. Drill design is by Ryan Edgman. Color guard, instruction and choreography is by Brandon Gibbons. The high school band recently moved into our new band room on the north side of the pack. Thanks to all the collaborative efforts from school administrators, the school board, and all who voted for the last school bond, we were able to rehearse in our larger facility and adequately house our growing band program. The band wishes to thank the teachers, parents, administration, and school board for your attendance this evening and for your continued support of the Deer Creek Band program. Ladies and gentlemen, the Deer Creek High School Antler Pride Marching Band. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to announce the winning ticket for the 50-50 tonight. If you win, you can pick up your money at the ticket booth on the home side. The winning ticket number is 573-8848. 573-8848. Once again, you can pick up your money at the ticket booth. $230.
We're back here at halftime with about 2 minutes left to go in the halftime activities. We want to show off the Antler Vision football promos. Hope you enjoy this.
Hey man, listen up. Okay, what do we always talk about? Go do your best. Play as a team. Play for that name on the front of your jersey. Go win the play tonight. It's about us and what we do. Go do your job. Let's go get out of these guys. Play as a team. Play hard. Get out
Play they called was a good play. We had a receiver and overthrew him just a little bit.
Just a little bit, that's right. Uh-oh, crazy train now.
So Ozzy Osbourne bringing us
back.
Bringing us back on the crazy train into the second half here.
Aye.
Your Antlers will be getting the ball to start the second half, which is good because if they can get some points from this, they can make it a one-score ball game.
They do have the momentum right now. Let's just see if they can carry it over here into the third quarter. That will be the question.
So Eggleston in to kick off for the Pioneers. That ball is going to go through the end zone, it looks like. So the Antlers will get the ball on the 20-yard line to start off the second half.
You know, Huska had some struggles in the first half a little bit. Threw a ball he probably shouldn't have thrown. A couple of them he probably shouldn't have thrown. One was dropped and one was intercepted. So let's see how he bounces back. That last drive he had, he was very efficient, running the ball and throwing the ball.
And I wonder if not having that one more day to sort of prep work things, you know, Huska's been really good with the balls that he's thrown so far this year. So we had a couple tonight that weren't really in the character that we've seen from him.
Exactly. You know, and all these decisions were made yesterday afternoon. So as far
late.
as they were, you know, when they woke up yesterday, they were thinking Friday night football.
Well, and I think maybe when they got through practice yesterday, they were maybe thinking Friday night football. I don't know what time all that became official. So Diaz on the carry, and once again, Deer Creek working the edges of the Stillwater defense, and that seems to be where they can find some success.
Our receivers are really doing a great job blocking downfield. I mean, that was all about, you know, the linemen obviously kept the penetration from getting in, but more, we were blocking on the edge really well.
You know, a couple weeks ago, we ran the ball so well going to the right, and then last week we ran the ball so well going to the left, and tonight we've had the most success avoiding the middle of the Stillwater defensive line. So here comes Stillwater with that back up and see how it's going to look situation, which is really weird. There's some flags on the play.
Umpire Scott Gibbons throws the penalty there. He's
sure
talking to one of the players.
So I'm not sure what the call is going to be here, but it came from the defensive backfield. He was the only one that saw anything amiss.
Let's see what the call is.
He's sending a player off. No flag on the play.
Either maybe his mouthpiece is gone, or maybe there's blood. There could be blood.
Oh, okay, all right.
But they're not attending to him right now.
No, he's stepping off the field.
And Coach Stanley is
trying to get clarification on. They're not working on the player at all.
and now he is talking to the player. So
we'll see what happens.
a little confusion there.
Yeah.
A little drama to start the
So it's going to be second down, about 3 yards to go.
There's Diaz again on the direct snap.
Right. And they've had a little bit of success in that, sending the quarterback in motion instead of going, out of that wildcat formation, instead of lining the quarterback up out as a wide receiver. Huska goes in motion.
No, they have to have a counter to that. You don't put a play in unless you have counters to it. What else can you do with it? And they haven't shown their hand on that yet. So surely there's going to be something that comes out of that it has to do with Huska. Running a route, maybe a quick pass or
So Burright's at the top of your screen, and Gary's at the bottom. And that's who they're looking for. Huska's pass intended for Paxton Gary falls incomplete. Looked like it was a catchable ball, but not quite on the numbers where Huska's had the most success. When he can hit his receivers right in the hands.
So that's a 3 and out there to start the third quarter. A couple opportunities there to maybe get that first down. We were close. Make that completion there. That would have definitely moved the chains.
That would have helped. So Logan Ward into punt. He's been good this year in the punting game. In the kicking game in general, he's been pretty good. Really reliable.
Snap. Let's get that
so
ball.
He's going to get a ball. It's over the the Stillwater
deep
deep men, and that ball's going to roll down inside the 30-yard line. It may have just enough. No, it doesn't. So the ball will be down at the 26-yard line.
46-yard punt. 46. You got to like that.
It's a great punt. And Stillwater will take over at the 26-yard line. Last time they had the ball, they ran one play for an interception.
That's right. we almost got to take advantage of one of the few mistakes that Gunnar Gundy has made.
They have not made very many mistakes on the offensive side of the ball. I don't even think they've had an offensive penalty tonight. And it has been a steady diet of Walker. So we'll see what the second half dials up. In the first half, Walker was pretty much able to just go right up the middle of the Deer Creek defensive alignment there, and oftentimes not getting first touches until the defense wasn't getting a first touch until he got into the secondary.
Right. He's getting to the second level, and we're making those observations that when our linebackers are free, they're not getting the big yards. They're getting 2 or 3 every time, but our linebackers, our 2 interior linebackers especially, number 33, Ben Likes, and number 29, Dylan Beers, they have to be active here.
So Gundy in the backfield with Walker. And we'll see how Stillwater starts the game. Gundy keeps the ball, finds his wide receiver.
There's a penalty. Come on. Wow, number 13 just pushed our guy from the back, and we don't get the call there. That's interesting.
So that pass goes to Smallwood, tackled by Burright, who's been all over the field.
He really has. He's become
past 2 weeks.
The every day, every play man.
So it's going to be second down and short. This time goes to Walker right up the middle, and again, he gets into basically the third level of the Deer Creek defense before they can get him. Gain on the play is good for a first down and 10.
That time Likes had a shot at him about at the line of scrimmage, and he ran through his arms, and just he's a powerful running back, and we had a shot at him, but he just ran through that tackle.
So the ball's at the 47-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. Gundy finds his receiver over here on the bottom of your screen, and that's going to be Brown.
Again, a little quick slip screen there.
About a 7-yard gain to the 50-yard line. Just passed all the way to the 49. So it's going to be second down and about 1 yard to go for the Pioneers. So they're sort of picking up right where they left off in the first half for the most part.
I was just getting ready to say that. This looks familiar.
So Walker in the backfield with Gundy. Gundy's hot target in the first half was Smithton, who was at the bottom of your screen. Here goes Walker, and looky there. He gets through those guys. He just gets so hard to see behind that line, I think, and we just cannot pick him up, and he's in for the touchdown.
About a 49-yard touchdown run for Quantrell Walker.
He is tough to bring down. He doesn't look. He's got to be shifty. There's because he's not a big kid.
I still like your illustration, Quentin Griffin. He has a lot of those characters. doesn't gallop quite as much as Quentin used to do, but he does get through that. Oh, we got another blow up in the extra point game.
Eggleston's extra point doesn't get off the ground, and that's the second misfire tonight for Stillwater on the point after.
You know, you got the the running back there, Walker. Go for 2. I mean, have
Do
we
it
been?
every time.
I mean, have we stopped them yet? I mean, you're looking at a 3-yard play every play. I mean, with him. But you got to have your kicker too. So everybody
Might as well use him.
Might as well use him.
So Stillwater marches down the field fairly quickly. There's 8 minutes 54 seconds left in the third quarter. Score now is Deer Creek 14, Stillwater 34.
This is the dangerous part of the game. You don't want to lose contact, but we're still in a position where we could make a run at them. You get more than 3 scores down, 3 possessions down. I mean, especially with the way they're running the ball and the possessions aren't nearly as many as we've seen the first 3 weeks. You're going to be your back is definitely going to be up against it.
So big offensive series coming up for the Antlers. We'll see how they can come out. They've got to get some points. You think they got to get some points this time around. They really haven't stopped Stillwater. Stillwater stopped Stillwater at the end of the first half there with a bad pass by Gundy, but we've had issues with Walker all night long.
No,
and here goes the wind. It's blown the ball off the tee.
Again, we are a stadium that is not a traditional east-west or north-south. It's more of a northwest to a southeast diagonal. So the wind is definitely a crosswind.
So Eggleston again sends kind of that weird pooch kick down the field. And it's picked up by Paxton Gary after a bobble.
He's trying to make something happen.
He was working hard.
Ran out of real estate. Yeah, he's working hard there.
So he's out to the 16-yard line. Deer Creek's going to take over with a lot of field in front of him. And we'll see what the coaching staff comes up with here.
Now they had a little success, with the the direct snap to Dylan Diaz. They had a little success with that quad look to the left. And they had some success, maybe trying to get Axel in the game too. So they've got some things that they can go to. We'll see what they've got stirred up
Paxton
here.
Gary early in that first quarter too was able to find some holes in the defense.
Exactly.
But there's been some uncharacteristic drops tonight.
That's true.
The first few games, the wide receiving core has pretty much held on to everything that was in their area. And tonight there's been some drops on some balls that could have been caught.
Good blocking up front. There we
so
go.
Here goes Diaz on the corner, and he's got a great run on the play to about the 40-yard line.
Well, the blocking was beautiful up front that time. Everybody was accounted for and squared up. A nice play.
So the ball actually be marked down at 37. I thought he must have been touched the sideline over there. So it's going to be first down and 10 yards to go from the 37.
About a 20-yard gain there?
Yeah.
Good run by Mr. Diaz.
Excellent play call. Excellent work by Dylan Diaz.
Antler Player of the Week last week, I understand.
And well-deserved.
Okay, that one was a little slower in developing, and they got off the blocks a little faster. And
so Beers on the carry that time, and he is met at the line of scrimmage and somehow manages to get a yard out of that.
Thought we'd see a little bit of Josh Bakari, number 18, the junior. He had some reps last week. Haven't seen him yet tonight's game.
And he would offer a little bit of a different look from Dylan and Diaz and from Beers because of how he runs.
That's true.
So similar to Lamorris Davis and Dylan Diaz.
Quick screen, number 19, gets in the gap there. Will Hinton.
So Will Hinton makes a good play out with his legs there.
Sophomore, 5'8", 155.
Had some great blocking from his receivers right in front of him. And Huska's passed that time on the money. So about a 6-yard gain on the play. It's going to be third down, 3 yards to go from the 44-yard line.
Big Axel down there on the right all by himself. They're double teaming, and they stacking him. They got a guy in his face and a guy that's standing about 10 yards away. Let's see what we dial up here.
So Huska moves Beers over. Ball goes to Beers up the middle. He's got a little bit of a lane there, and he's got a first down and then some. Keeps his feet, taking Stillwater players with him. He's inside the 40. That was a great run from Dillon.
17-yard run by Mr. Beers, the linebacker extraordinaire. That's showing he's got some moves in the backfield too.
So Beers on the carry had found some open grass, open turf, I guess, here at Deer Creek.
Well,
on a
I
little
thought
cutback, he cut back against the grain there and was able to
Huska
get
moved
some
him over to the left, and I think Huska saw where the hole was going to be, and shifted him over to the left, and that sure enough was where the wide open spaces and friendly faces were.
So Beers off, Diaz on. That ball goes to Burright.
Couple yards.
Picks up 2 on the play, and his wide receiver probably missed a block he should have had over there.
That's rare because we've been hitting those blocks pretty well.
So Will Michael.
Will's been doing a great job tonight. He missed that one, but he's been doing a great job tonight.
Yeah, the wide receiving core has done a great job blocking downfield for these little wide receiver screens and some of the other things.
And the stretch plays out there to
Right.
the outside when Diaz has been able to break loose. It's been those wide receivers doing a great job blocking.
So here we go again.
Oh,
Diaz scampers through the pile, and I think
Got
if he
tripped.
keeps his feet
Yeah.
there, he can go a little bit further.
they've found something over there that they're having a little bit more success. And Diaz is hobbling again. Beers is going to come in for him.
So Beers on, Diaz off. The Dillons.
Yeah, the dynamic Dillons.
It's going to be 3rd down, about 7 yards to go. Trips down here to the bottom of your screen. Single wide receiver to the top. Got
That's
your
Welch.
check with me.
Welch at the top.
And he's doubled up.
Yep.
So here we go.
There we
Beers,
go.
he's found a
Great
gap.
play. There it is. There it is.
Looks like he's going to have the first down.
What a great call, Coach Paul, the offensive coordinator, and Coach Stanley. They've dialed it up right over here. Spreading the field, and
They've seen something they like with the
They
running
really
plays on this one. They're all sort of a similar shape.
right. We got the linebackers outnumbered there when we spread the field like we've got it spread now.
So Beer stays in. So basically the same formation that they had from the previous play.
They rolled the coverage up a little bit different, so
Beers again with the
Yeah.
ball, and this time a little bit tougher going.
missed a couple blocks there.
Gain of 2 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Ball will be on the 26-yard line. Stillwater really hasn't been in that kind of goofy defense. And when they go to that, Deer Creek has not had a problem moving the ball.
Not really, no.
But
You're exactly right.
But when Stillwater is anchored in their positions, and it's been a little bit tougher. So Huska drops back to pass. He's got a receiver down here. It's going for Paxton Gary, and he
Gary had to go back to his cornerback mentality.
And I thought for a minute there Paxton was going to be able to make a catch, and the Stillwater defensive player made a great break on the ball to knock it down. And that was a long pass for Huska to make, and that's a hard pass to throw.
It's a touch pass, and just too much time for the defense to react there.
So Diaz in the backfield. A similar formation to the one that they've been using most of this drive.
This is where the draw has been really good to us.
Right.
Okay, we're going to pass
Huska's
this.
dropping back to
Little
pass. He set up a
screen.
screen. He's got Diaz,
Oh.
and Stillwater sniffed that out. They had a man there ready to make the play. So sometimes those screen passes, you got to get past that first line.
Well, right, yeah, you're exactly right.
And if that doesn't happen, you're in trouble.
The linemen have to hold that block just a little bit longer, and then they have to get off those blocks. And we didn't quite get the meshing of it. Didn't quite take the time that it needed to. Kind of developed too quick.
So the Antlers lose about 5 yards on that play. It's going to be 4th down. They are out of field goal range, so they're going to go for it here.
And there's the.
And here comes the wonky defense from Stillwater. Passes to Burright. He makes one player miss, keeps his feet. He's down inside the 25-yard line, but he's going to be well short of the first down.
Well, with 4:14 to go in the third quarter, not a bad call. I mean, they were backed up plenty, and Burright can make people miss.
Right.
So
that drive that started at the Deer Creek 16 gets all the way down to the 23-yard line of the Stillwater Pioneers, but the the draw play or the screenplay hurt them.
That's true. So we've had some success moving the football against Stillwater, who again is probably one of the favorites in the Division II of 6A to make a lot of noise in November.
So Walker's in the backfield. He's got the ball, and there he goes. And it is 8 yards and a cloud of dust. But to go back to that last play for the Antlers, Stillwater went with that goofy defense where they're all moving around and not settled, and Deer Creek picked up about 13 yards.
Yeah, it was just too much real estate to have to overcome.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 2 yards to go. Walker in the backfield still with Gundy. And why not Walker? There he goes. Found a huge hole in the line.
Yeah.
And he's not touched until he gets to the 50.
Not sure what our linebackers saw that time. Our two middle linebackers were chasing ghosts, it looked like. And they ran themselves out of the play. I know we had one of them do that. But
Walker tackled at the 44-yard line of the Deer Creek Antlers. Stillwater getting the signs from their coaching staff. What play they're going to run.
3:24 to go in the third quarter.
This game has really moved fairly quickly because both teams have ran the ball quite a bit tonight. Here we go, Walker again.
Why not?
And he's going to pick up about 5 yards on that play.
It's just something you don't see a whole lot of anymore.
He's tough to find, tough to tackle.
Teams that are just, hey, we're going to move the football on the ground and
stop us.
Yeah, we dare you to stop us.
Yeah, and that's been a tough sled for the Antlers to push tonight. It's going to be 2nd down and about 5 yards to go. Ball's on the 39-yard line.
I tell you, Scott, anytime you have an offense and you're never behind the chains like Stillwater's been tonight, you're going to score points and you're going to win a lot of football games.
I mean, they had 3rd and long once.
One time.
And here goes Walker again.
That. How is the middle just getting gashed like that?
And he's down to almost the 10-yard line. We'll see where the referee spots him. It's going to be on about the 11. So it's going to be 1st down, 10 yards to go from the 11-yard line. And again, it's just been Walker, Walker, Walker.
We're not talking about the Walking Dead either.
No.
A lot of running.
Stillwater can get a 1st down without a touchdown, but this time it's Gundy out wide to Smithton.
Nice hit.
And he is knocked out of bounds, and I don't know if he made it to the 1st down marker or not. It'll be close. I think he's going to be just short, so it's going to be 2nd down and 1 yard to go, 2 for the touchdown.
So run-pass option there, RP play, and lineman pulling there, so he could have handed the ball off to Walker, but threw the little bubble screen on the outside.
Well, we haven't seen Gundy throw the ball a whole lot tonight. It's been a lot of running for the Pioneers.
He's got nice form. I tell you, I wonder where he learned that.
He looks really comfortable.
From his uncle.
Yeah.
That's who it was, his uncle. Sorry, Coach.
So the ball goes to Walker. It looks like he's in the end zone, and he is. So that's going to be touchdown Pioneers.
So that's gonna hurt right there. Touchdown. Got 40 points on the board with 2 to go in the third.
So let's see what Stillwater does this time. Last time they missed an extra point. They lined up and went for 2. And it looks like this time they've got the kicking team on. So that'll be Eggleston in to kick the ball for the Pioneers. And again, another bad snap. But it was handled correctly by the holder, and he's in. So they actually get the 2-point conversion to go back to even on the on the scoreboard.
Yeah, the true 28-point deficit now.
So 2 minutes, 17 seconds left in the third quarter. It's been pretty much all Stillwater this half.
They have been tough. Now, next week we're going to Cameron Stadium to play the Lawton Wolverines. It's always an adventure to play down there. Then the following week we'll be back home to host Dell City. And then the following week we'll go to the Bombers. So this is not an easy district. I mean, we got two Putnam City, we got Putnam City, Putnam West, we got Midwest City, Dell City. We have Lawton, and Stillwater. That makes up the district here.
That sounds like a murderer's row.
It really does. It really does. I mean,
So if you get out of that district, you're going to be pretty solid. You're going to have a pretty solid season.
The Stillwater Midwest City game might be pretty good. I know the Putnam City and Putnam West are down a little bit from where they were last year. But you got to find that one of those top 4 spots to get to the playoffs.
So Eggleston will kick the ball off here, and it's going to go through the end zone again. He's sort of been a little bit of an adventure on kickoffs, varying from knocking the ball through the end zone to these kind of squib
Mishits,
kicks.
almost, you know.
Yeah, like my golf shot.
Yeah, exactly. That's me. Me and my iron play.
So the Antlers will take over at the 20-yard line. There's 2 minutes, 17 seconds left to go in the third quarter. The Antlers, again, have moved the ball.
Yeah, they moved it.
But they haven't made it to red zone as consistently as you would like. But they've been able to move it, for the most part, without too many issues. I think
Yeah,
they've
they
only had
moved it
3 and out
over
a
half
couple
the
times.
field. Over 50 yards on their last drive.
Yeah, it's a good drive.
But, you know, in high school football, you just don't see a lot of 10, 12-play drives, you know. I mean,
Right.
you just don't see that very much.
So Huska to Burright,
Is that Burright or is that Big Axel?
or is that? Oh, it was Axel.
Yeah, that's finally they
All
went
right,
to him
so-
out there.
Axel makes the catch, picks up about 9 yards on the play.
The thing about him is that he can be covered and you just throw it high, just like that pass.
Right,
I mean,
he's
he hit
tall.
him right up there around his face mask, and, you know, number 11 didn't have a chance.
Yeah, so defending on that was Williams. So second and short for your Antlers. Ball's on the 29-yard line.
So now they've backed way, way off of Axel up there on the left at the top of your screen.
Beers in
left
the
side.
backfield, trips to the bottom of your screen. Axel Welch on the top. Ball goes to Beers. He's got a little bit of a running lane over there. And he's up to the 39-yard line.
23, Jacob Johnson, the ball carrier.
Nice run there. Number 23. That
Oh,
was,
correction. That's
that'd
not
be
Beers.
Jacob Johnson.
So
on the
Jacob
carry.
Johnson.
He's getting
Good.
his first action.
Good run by Johnson on that.
Senior, 6'1", 177. Good body there.
And he's got the same shape as Beers. My apologies.
Yeah, well, I thought it was Beers, too. I mean, I saw the 2. Beers has got to be.
So Johnson stays in the backfield.
I say Beers has got to be tired.
Here goes Huska. Johnson gets the ball again. He finds a little bit of a hole.
Nice run,
And
kiddo.
he's picked up about another 8 yards.
Jacob Johnson, the ball carrier.
So this is going to be second down and short. Maybe 3 yards, 2 yards to go. So gain of 8 on the play.
Gain of 8. Second down.
It's always good to see a senior come in and begin to contribute. Hadn't really done much, you know, first 3 weeks. Here he is. He's stepping up when his time.
He's had some
is
great
called.
runs here.
His number's been called.
So Johnson stays in the backfield, trips to the bottom of your screen. I believe that's Axel Welch at the top. That's where he's been going. Johnson with the carry, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he's
Close.
going to be close to a first down. 2 tough yards for the senior.
Goes to number 23, Jacob Johnson.
I can't tell. The referee on the far side looks at it like we're going to be just a little bit short. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, the umpire
No,
said
the
that's
umpire
a first
says that's
down.
first down, so here we go. And now the referee says first down.
Ball placed in their own.
So first down, 10 yards to go.
Now, you know, there is nothing in the middle. They're putting everybody up on the line of scrimmage. You see where the umpire is standing? There's nobody there.
And that's the end of the third quarter.
Wow, that was fast.
So entering the fourth quarter of play, Deer Creek 14, Stillwater 42, and Deer Creek on the move.
Yeah, I mean, again, we haven't had very much trouble moving the football. I mean, we haven't done it every drive as opposed to Stillwater. You know, has really much moved the football consistently every drive other than the little interception there before halftime. You know, the offense has got – that was admittedly the first 2 weeks. That was the weak point. The weak spot on the team was the offense, not being able to convert the red zone opportunities.
Right.
And last week we solved that problem, and it looks like it's carrying over a little bit this week too. I mean, we're moving the football. Got 14 points on the board.
So it's going to be first down, 10 yards to go for the Antlers. Beers checks back in.
Axel down at the bottom of your screen,
Yep.
isolated again.
So Axel Welch on the bottom. And we'll see what they do with him. Stillwater looks like they're going to go with their. Nope, here they go. Okay. They go with their more. Nope. Nope. Stillwater is going to do all this moving business.
Deer Creek's doing a check with me just about every time they do that, and I think the coaches are.
It's paid off just about every single time.
There's another one. Get through,
So there's
kiddo.
there we go. There we go.
Yep.
So that's
87. That is Randy
so
Childers.
Ball
Perfect.
hits Childers right in the numbers, and
52
again, when
yards.
Stillwater does that, we've picked up big yardage.
We have.
So that was a great
Made
play
him pay.
call from the offensive coordinator.
Had a check with me there, and they went with the bubble screen, and
Great blocking by the
Great
receivers.
and Childers got some speed, man.
And he just-
kid took off and ran him.
It was a great catch and run. So that puts the Antlers
No give up in these guys,
back
that's for
on
sure.
the board. Logan Ward in to kick the extra point. Kid's automatic. Looks good, is good. So 10 seconds into the fourth quarter, Deer Creek gets the touchdown, and it is now 21-42. So, telling you what, the offense is starting to get it figured out. If we can figure out how to shut down this Walker kid.
Yeah, that's the big if. And you know the thing about it, they've been doing it right down the middle where our best players are. You know, as far as Beers is, I mean, haven't called Parker Johnson's name a lot tonight. They pretty much effectively have run away from him. They've just been running right into those A gaps, B gaps, and been blocking us. It's just a simple game. When you can block the other team, you're gonna pick up yards.
Right. And they've been able to get Walker. He's basically not getting touched till he's past our linebackers.
Exactly.
Like it's in that defensive backfield. And
in that second level, if you get to the second level without having an arm on you or somebody, grabbing at you, you're gonna have a good night. And our big boys up front, Crawford, Eden, and Garrick Johnson, they've
had their hands full.
They've had their hands full.
And part of their job is to also help provide some relief for the linebackers.
Exactly.
So
They need to take up two linemen. The old saying is if you're a defensive lineman and it doesn't take two offensive linemen to block you, you're not very good. Now that's a live ball.
So Walker bobbles the ball on a bad catch here, and
I guess that's one of those high school deals there.
He bobbled it into the end zone, which makes it a touchback.
Yeah.
So
didn't have clear possession of it.
And that was a little bit different to what we had in the first half, where we caught the ball and ran into the end zone and then needed to run it out. So Stillwater, 1st and 10 from the 20.
Got some new faces out there. Zane Shades is out there playing in the outside linebacker capacity.
Gundy and Walker in the backfield for the Pioneers.
Uh-oh.
And why not give it to Walker?
Yeah, I mean, he is your money man.
9 yards, 8 yards. 2nd down and short. Yeah, I mean, Stillwater just has not been behind the chains tonight.
Their linemen, they're big guys, 62, 73, 78, 79. They're all a head taller than our guys on the defensive line, just all of them, outside except for Mike Bakari. He's 6 foot, so he's looking at him in the eye. But the other guys are doing their best, but it's just big boys.
They are big, and they're doing their job, making it hard for us. And that's the name of the game for the offensive team, is make it hard for your defense.
That's right. The 2 games we've had against physical teams, Stillwater and Norman, we've had a hard time slowing them down. We've had a hard time, keeping them from running right at us. The Norman game, second half, it was a lot of what we're seeing right now, kind of the same thing. Just running right at us.
Flag on the play.
So penalty will go against the Pioneers. Walker's off to get a breather. And that's Jones in the backfield now.
1st and 15 for the Pioneers.
So the ball will be at the 29-yard line. It'll be first down, 15 yards to go. Jones with the carry, and he's right through the interior line and across the 50.
Just a good old-fashioned trap play. Lineman pulls, kicks out, and the running back runs right behind where the lineman kicks out the end. And man, there's nobody there.
So Jones' run is good to the 47-yard line of the Antlers. And really, Stillwater hasn't tried to run wide or any sweeps or anything like that. It's just been right there between the guards all night long.
So you got the guy in the slot in there, in the interior slot. He's going to block out, and then here comes the lineman wrapping around, and there it is again.
So Jones on the carry again. And that's about a 6-yard gain.
That's just as basic a play as you can get. Jones
comes up hobbling.
Yeah, he's going to.
So Jones takes a knee. Walker is back on the field already. Jones hasn't featured a whole lot tonight, but when he's been in, he's filled in admirably for Walker to give Walker a little bit of a breather. That's another. They're looking at Jones.
Yeah, he was kind of hobbled there, wasn't he?
So we'll see what happens. But again, we haven't forced the Stillwater bunch into a fourth down conversion tonight at all. And they have been on top of the chains all night long.
It's the first injury we've had tonight.
That's right. We haven't had cramps or
anything. Haven't had any cramps.
Last week we had a lot of cramps.
It's Cramp City out here. Yep, got him up. He's not wanting to put any pressure on it. That's
not a good sign.
Not a good sign. Sure hope.
So he's really favoring that right leg.
Mr.
You hate
Jones.
to see somebody get injured, but football's a pretty violent sport. It's not when you're going to get an injury. It's not if you're going to get an injury. It's when.
And there's nicks in pain just about every play. Somebody, but this game, you learn to play with pain. Their old coaching adage is that you got to know the difference between pain and injury, because you're going to play with pain. If you're injured, you need to come out.
Right. So Jones on his run there picks up about 5 yards. He's going to be off.
Run the same play 2 times in a row, a little trap play. Stillwater seems to be the type of team that if you haven't stopped it yet, we're not going to slow down.
Right.
We're going to keep doing it.
So Walker on, Jones off. Gundy stays in the backfield.
So see if they'll do the same play to the left now. Yep.
So here goes Walker, and he's met in the backfield.
Mr. Bakari, number 99.
So that is a good defensive play right there for the Antlers.
Mike Bakari,
one of the few times tonight.
Yeah, we broke through to their backfield.
That we've hit him behind the line and held on. So that's good. So I think this is the second 3rd and long play.
That's
tonight.
right. Yeah, we're 3 minutes into the 4th quarter, and this is only their second 3rd and long. You're right,
so
Scott.
We'll see what happens here.
See if Gundy tests that arm.
So Gundy's looking to pass. Finds his wide receiver over there who drops the ball. I think that was Smithton.
Little jaw jacking going over there a little bit.
So it's going to be 4th down, about 8 yards to go.
So they're going to actually punt the ball, it looks like. Well, Gundy's still in the game.
Gundy's in the game. We have a pretty unique formation here with 2 bunches of receivers on the top and the bottom of your screen. So I wonder if this is going to be a little.
Oh, you're going to throw it.
Gundy's looking for. Wow, Gundy's ball goes to Martin. 7. And he's in the end zone for the touchdown, and that is a 44-yard touchdown pass.
Well, I tell you what, number 12 likes to talk. He ran in front of our bench all the way down, jawing at him.
I know that's part of the game today, but I never really did that when I played. I don't know.
I'm not a fan of that at all. You know me. I mean, I'm just stop it.
I have a nephew who's a pretty talented football player, and
Yeah, you do.
he told me one day, he said, that's part of the game, Uncle Scott. And I go, all right.
Does it have to be?
Yeah. So the extra point is good. 8 minutes, 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. And that puts Stillwater up to 55. So your Antlers 21, Stillwater 55. And, man, their offense is as good as advertised.
Well, no kidding. It seemed like they can do whatever they want to do. I mean, that was an unusual formation right there for a fourth down. You know, you're already up.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, you're up quite a bit, you know, and throw a long pass like that, that's not going to set well with a lot of Deer Creek folk, I'm sure.
But on the other hand, you know, when you're trying to teach your players to play hard every single down, to never quit,
right,
to work, to do what you're supposed to do, sometimes it's hard to also communicate to call off the dogs.
Yeah,
you know, you're in
that
that sort of catch-22.
Right. You really are. I mean, just punt it there. I mean, you're having no problem moving the football. You're having no problem scoring the football. Do you really need that?
Is there a point differential?
Well, yeah, but it only goes up to 15 points.
Okay.
I mean, once you pass 15, the most you
matter.
can get is 15.
Okay.
So they're going to get their 15 tonight.
I'm a little bit more familiar with the way they do soccer, and at one point with soccer it was four goals. If you had a 4-goal differential, it didn't matter what happened after that.
Yeah. Similar kind of rule.
So Eggleston set to kick it off here. Ball blows off the tee. We've had a pretty stiff breeze tonight blowing across the field. Can't tell. There's a cold front headed this way.
It'll be raining in the morning. That's what we've been told.
So this ball should be returnable. And it bounces in front of Paxton Gary, who picks it up off the hop. And he's got a little bit of a lane over here if he can make it through there. And he can't. So he is tackled at the 28-yard line, and we've got a flag on the play.
Yeah.
And the referee is picking it up to walk it way back here.
Not sure what
27-yard line.
There's just a little bit of rowdiness on the visitor side. I've been watching a lot of, but it's on us,
so the
of course.
penalty's going to go against
talk bad about Stillwater.
The Antlers.
So when it rains, it pours. Of course, that's tomorrow morning, but right now it's raining on us. 15 yards, mercy.
It's a big one. Block in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So the Antlers are going to take over from the 17-yard line. No big deal. They've been here before tonight and moved the ball well the last time they started from inside their own 20. And they didn't score a touchdown, but they moved it all the way up the field. So here goes Dylan Diaz, and he found a little lane over there on the right-hand, off the right-hand sideline, side of the offensive line.
Nice block out there by Jackson Jordan with 28. Let's set the table for Mr.
So that's going to be second down, about 4 yards to go. So again, the Antlers taking advantage of the edges. They've had some good fortune doing that. So Huska to Diaz again, and Diaz is trying to get around the left edge this time, and he's not going to make it.
You get close to that first down, but I don't think he made it.
Looks like the linesman's coming in about a yard short of the first down. So third down, 1 yard to go. And that was a little bit slower developing than the play just before.
Just a little bit. The pursuit got there a little bit quicker.
So Diaz off, and I believe that's Beers on in the backfield for the Antlers.
There goes back up, and
so Stillwater with their wonky
again
defensive formation.
That has not given them anything.
And Deer Creek just takes advantage of that.
It really does.
So it's going to be good for a first down and 10 to the 31-yard line.
So kudos to the coaching staff for being able to really figure that out. I mean, that would be confusing to a lot of teams. They've managed to move the football and pick up all the crazy stunts that they've been doing out of it.
They really have. The offensive line really has done a pretty good job tonight of
I agree.
of playing their assignments, even when they don't know where that player is going to come from. The running backs have had lanes to run in. Huska's had time to sit and throw the ball and find some targets. So they've done what they need to do against a pretty tough Stillwater bunch.
Exactly. We're going to have pretty good numbers on the offensive end tonight. Not
I think
defense.
so.
Defense, it's going to be a forgettable night as far as amount of yards given up.
So 2nd down, 8 yards to go for your Antlers. Ball's on the 33-yard line. Huska's checking with. He's got a change of his play here.
Draw play is
And that goes to
sniffed out early and often.
Goes to Beers, and Beers was met at the line of scrimmage. That was a tough play there. He loses a couple yards on that one. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 11 to go for the Antlers. Ball's on the 30-yard line. The line to gain is the 41.
So we have about 11 yards.
So 11 yards to go.
I mean, to me, throw it to Mr. Welch. Jump ball. 6'6" versus, it looks like maybe 5'10", 5'11".
Welch is on the bottom of your screen. Beers in the backfield.
Got 2 receivers with him.
So got a flag on the play.
It's like we're going to add another 5 yards.
So false start. I didn't see anybody move. But there was no hesitation.
Umpire, it must have been either the 2 guards or the center for the umpire to call it. That usually is who he's looking at. They may have twitched or something.
So here we go. 3rd down and 16 now. And
Go to Welch. There's
has
Welch.
found Welch, but the ball's over his head. So you're looking for the right player on that play.
Yeah. Just didn't quite get it there for him to have a play on.
Huska was being pressured a little bit there and probably didn't have time to line up that ball like he wanted to. So that ball falls over Welch's head incomplete. Logan Ward did to kick the ball off or to punt the ball for the Antlers.
So we have a winner from the Deer Creek Transition Center raffle tonight, and that winner is Karen Wagner. She wins a 100th anniversary Harley-Davidson.
Wow.
Yeah. The Deer Creek Transition Center trains students with special needs to best transition to community life, employment, and home living in order to positively contribute to their communities. It's an awesome program. Congrats to Karen Wagner.
I hated to interrupt you there, but Logan Ward's punt was bobbled by Stillwater and recovered by Angelo Clark. So, 1st down and 10
good
yards
guys
to
do
go.
something good.
Read another drawing raffle.
Let me repeat that again. Again, Karen Wagner wins a 100th anniversary Harley-Davidson motorcycle.
Wow.
And it is one nice-looking
You
motorcycle.
know, I don't do motorcycles, but I tried to talk my wife into letting me get a Harley just to have.
Just to have one,
And
yeah.
she said no, which is probably the correct decision. So here we go. 1st down and 10 yards to go inside the 40-yard line for the Antlers. 5.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter in a game that's really has flown by. Diaz in the backfield. The ball.
Make a miss. That a boy.
There you go. Make the first player miss, and you're off to the races.
Will Hinton.
So good catch by Will and good initial move.
I thought I was in some sort of, Matrix or some sort of, Twilight Zone. I kept looking at our scoreboard, and it said 55. And I said, when did they score a touchdown? Did I miss a touchdown somewhere?
Oh, did they have it wrong?
Yeah, now it's
Oh,
back
it's
to
49.
49.
Okay.
So I for a second I said, I know they're scoring, but did they score one that I
was
didn't
thinking
see?
the same thing, but I was reading what was, like the Anchorman.
Right.
Will Ferrell. You just read what's given to you.
Just read it. There it goes.
So there
Dylan.
goes Diaz past the stunting Stillwater defense.
That's right.
And good run by Diaz.
Gashed him pretty good right there. Nice run. Nice
Tackled
play.
at the 25-yard line.
He comes off the field along with Paxton Gary. Beers is in the backfield now.
Beers and Diaz have been rotating about every 2 or 3 plays in the backfield.
That shows you the value of Morris, Lamorris Davis, who's been out tonight with an injured ankle.
Welch is on his own over here, and Huska finds him.
There we go. Now, to me, that's a bread and butter play. Yeah, that
Right.
should have been like the 10th time he's caught that pass because they can't cover him.
Williams made the play there and held on for dear life, but he's
a big boy.
He is not as Williams is 5'6".
Again, 6'6".
Or he's 6'1". Williams is 6'1".
Okay. All right, so he's probably their biggest.
So here comes Stillwater again with sort of that wonky movie. I got it. You take it. Sort of defensive lineup, and their coach sprints up the field to call a timeout. And we just have not had a problem when they've run that defense.
No, we really haven't. I mean, it's been a really nice, scouting report by our offensive coaches.
So
I've noticed that our linemen are doing what they call pancake splits. I mean, they are literally foot to foot, and that keeps those stunts from coming in the gap. It's a lot harder to get through, and that's been a really good coaching adjustment that they've made. I don't remember them having those kind of splits in the other game, so great adjustment. It's working for us. We're moving the football.
So let's talk about the reschedule for a minute. This game is originally scheduled to happen tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and in late yesterday it's announced that they're going to push this game back to tonight. What does that do for your preparation? You're used to having like a Thursday walkthrough.
Right. Well, they do it a lot in 6A. There's a lot of Thursday games in 6A because there's schools that share stadiums, and so you have to alternate. But, yeah, if you're not used to it, though, it really kind of throws you off your rhythm. Wednesday's supposed to be a heavy day. It's supposed to be a day where it's a long practice, and then Thursday's your polish day. So without knowing that Wednesday was not going to be, the polish day, it may have thrown them off the rhythm a little bit. It does.
And I don't know. I think I was notified yesterday at 4:30 or 5 that the game was moved. So I don't know when the coaching staff knew. So they could have had a polished day yesterday, just depending on when everything was finalized. So Stillwater is standing up and defensively and choosing where they're going to go. And here the ball goes to Welch.
Whoa!
And he's getting flags from everywhere. Welch had a chance to make a play on the ball, but Williams was all over him.
And then he's talking to him like he did something. I mean, come on, kid. You just pass interference, and you're going to talk? Stop it.
So that should be half the distance to the goal, I believe. I don't know that that's an automatic first down in high school, but they'll replay first down.
It usually is.
Ball's on the 14-yard line. Should go to the 7. So first down and 3 yards to go for the Antlers. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown.
Right. About around the 4-yard line.
Welch at the bottom of your screen again.
Again, he's just matched up with number 11, Williams.
And Williams is about 5 inches shorter. So we'll see if they look at that direction again.
Really
and I believe Williams is the one that has been holding all night long. So here comes Welch, and he's got it in the end zone, and it's good. Little slant route.
Great call, great read, great pass. Honestly, Scott, you can't cover that. You cannot cover a kid that big with one guy. So again, great call, great read by Huska, and these guys are still fighting.
Yeah, that's a good play call. So Logan Ward on for the extra point. And all this because of the turnover on the special teams by the Stillwater Pioneers, bobbling the punt return.
Yeah, I missed that. I was giving away Harley Davidson.
You sure were. And that put the Antlers in great position, and they have just proceeded to march right down the field with this second life here. The extra point is good. And with 3 minutes, 47 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Deer Creek 28, Stillwater 49. And I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for Mr. Walker over there on the Stillwater sideline, this would be a different story.
I agree 100%. We have had our moments.
The offense, though, if you look at the past couple weeks with the offense and compared to the first couple weeks, I think the offense is leaps and bounds better.
Oh, much better.
They're finishing off stuff. They're putting consistent drives together. I mean, yeah, we stalled out a couple times inside the 30, but not quite to the 20. But when we've gotten inside the red zone here in the past couple weeks, we've
done a really good job of finishing those plays off, like you said. Absolutely. Have some scores from around the metro area.
All right. A lot of games were rescheduled for this evening. I know that there's a lady that I work with who was going to go watch a relative play, and they had to reschedule too. So.
We have Norman North leading Mustang 17-6. Another battle of Edlam. We have Edmond Santa Fe leading Edmond Memorial 42-0.
Wow.
Broken Arrow and Jinx are at it right now, but number 1 ranked Broken Arrow leading Jinx 28-13. Yukon leads Norman 14-7. Putnam City North will play tomorrow night in the rain. So will Owasso and Union, Westmore and Enid, and Moore and Southmore, the Moore War. Those will all be tomorrow night.
Those could be fun games to watch. It's always fun to watch a football game in the rain.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago. Here's a score, shootout. Midwest City, another team in our district, leading Lawton in the third quarter, 41-39.
Wow.
Booker T. Washington shutting out Bartlesville, 43-0. Putnam West leading Putnam City, 23-0 in the fourth quarter. And the rest of the games are going to be played tomorrow.
All right.
There's your 6A roundup.
So Logan Ward's kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. That puts the ball at first down and 10 from the 20-yard line for Stillwater. And I think we got a new running back in. So that's going to be Wagner, the ball carrier.
Time for a few subs to get in the game.
And I think
Again,
we've
had another phantom touchdown again. We're back to 55.
I wonder if
I mean, I know they've been scoring a lot, but
So Wagner, the ball carrier again. Gundy is out, and he's been replaced by Allen, number 3. So Stillwater getting some of their second unit game time, which could be really valuable depending on potential injuries and all kinds of crazy business.
Agreed. That's exactly right.
So Allen and Wagner in the backfield. The offense hasn't changed that much. They're still running the ball between the guards. Handoff again. So Wagner again on the carry, and he's just not quite as elusive.
Right. Not quite
as
that
Walker.
step. Yeah. Other scores from around the metro. Cashin leading Christian Heritage 18-14. Crossings Christian leading Northeast Academy 41-6. Go Knights.
The second down and about 8 yards to go here. Allen getting the ball from his center. Again, right up the middle to Wagner.
You're right. Just
and it's a rugby scrum.
gets us below 2 minutes.
So then it pushes the ball over to the 40. You can see where they're marking here. Looks like it's gonna be the 42-yard line. That should be good for a first down and 10. Pioneers.
Start the clock here.
So we're under 2 minutes to go. Stillwater on the move.
First and 10 for the Pioneers. Ball placed at their own 42-yard line.
So Allen and Wagner in the backfield. Allen's the quarterback, Wagner the running back. And Stillwater rotating in some linemen. I don't see the play clock counting down, but
I think they're having some technical difficulties with the score. They do not have 55 points.
No, and that the clock is running, and I don't see a play clock to guide. I feel like that was a long delay there, but that could just be me. So here goes Wagner again into the pile. Picks up 2 yards on the play.
Handoff goes to number 10, Donnell Wagner.
Yeah, I think that we're having some mechanical difficulties with the scoreboard. It's
Clock is running.
49-28.
Clock is running. We're at a minute left to play in the fourth quarter. Stillwater, no hurry.
Yeah, they're taking their time. They're going to try to milk it out here.
they should have to snap the ball at least twice more, I think, if I can do my mental math correctly. Taking their time. So Allen to Wagner. Into the pile. About the 50-yard line.
Down. Yeah, they can run it out now.
So I don't think Stillwater will have to snap it again, but we'll see what they choose to do here. And again, the play clock is not
right.
It's
It's
below
below.
off.
It's below 25 seconds. So yeah.
So that's
be
it. So that'll be
a tough one.
the end of the game.
A lot of positives, though. I mean, you got to take away. You know, you're playing one of the best teams in 6A Division II, and we came out and slugged with them pretty well.
We hung in there. You know, and you take. Really, if we could have figured out a way to slow down the running game, the Stillwater running game, you know, this is a lot more exciting.
I agree.
So
our offense has found a rhythm, and that's good as we roll along.
Right, the offense was moved, and they didn't have Lamoris Davis tonight, so hopefully
we'll be back.
Hopefully he heals up and it's back next week. But it'd be great to see all those kids on the field at one time, you know, because we missed Paxton Gary last week. We had him back this week, so that's a big deal. And hopefully, I didn't see that we had any significant injuries tonight. Of course, you don't know what could have developed over the game that maybe wasn't reported. But
so next week, Friday, September 28th at Cameron Stadium, our Antlers will be on the road to face the Lawton Wolverines. So I guess we'll have to make a road trip.
I guess we'll have to. It's a long ways away.
Yeah, it is. So that's the final score tonight. We have it at 49-28. The scoreboard says 55. We don't know what the score is. We know that the victors were the Stillwater Pioneers, and we'll be back next week. For Scott Hazelwood, this is Rick Harris signing off. Antler Vision TV, Antler Vision Football. Good night.